This podcast is brought to you by JList.com. JList is hitting its comic book roots. They have lots of DC and Marvel comic book character Nendoroids available. You can get Catwoman, Black Panther, Harley Quinn, and of course hundreds of other Nendoroids as well, including Sora from Kingdom Hearts, which is on pre-order right now. So if you're interested in the new Kingdom Hearts games or any of the DC or Marvel Comics properties, you might want to swing over to JList, check out their lineup of Nendoroids, and you'll have something really fantastic to enjoy in your studio, office, or maybe your bedroom. And now, it's time to start the podcast.
ありがとう. You're listening to the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Take your anime addiction to the next level at AAAPodcast.com/join. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 432nd episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. These numbers are getting crazy.
That's right.
I'm your host, Mitsugi, and I am joined by a lovely bro. His name is Kazuo. What's up, my man?
Oh, not much, sir. It's good to be here with you today.
Is it?
It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. The
Is it?
birds are chirping.
Are they?
Nope.
Nope.
It's hot as balls and pouring rain.
All the birds are dead.
They're all dead.
Well, it's just the two of us in studio today. We have no Mandy or Enzo today, but they will be back probably next week. We'll see.
I feel like Enzo is always with me, though.
Yeah,
I feel like he is always right there within my grasp. I feel like he's a part of me right now.
Enzo is currently
On
being
screen.
abused by his company, so but he will be back next week. So if you want to head over to our website, AAAPodcast, you can go to you can join the ranks of the Anime Addicts and get exclusive content to our hentai episodes.
It's true.
Our Hobby Addicts, and our after parties. We just did a Hobby Addicts on all of the cool futuristic riding devices you can buy, like the Segway's new inventions and the one wheel and
freaking submarines and
submarines and shit no one can afford.
Yeah.
So if you head over to AAAPodcast.com/join, you can help us keep the podcast running, and you can get hundreds, something like 450 exclusive podcast episodes are hiding on there just for you.
Look, you've denied it long enough.
That's right.
All right, we know.
You're in denial.
We know you're an addict.
Yes.
So join us.
And I'm an addict as well.
Join us, and together we shall rule the galaxy.
I'm a caffeine addict. You hear this? That's the sound of me pouring a 5-hour energy extreme into my drinking water.
Into your water?
Well, it's a raspberry flavored sparkling water.
Be a normal human and drink the 5-hour energy.
How dare you? I want to enjoy the flavor of it longer.
I'm going to pour my Rockstar energy drink into my beer.
You should.
No, that's a terrible idea.
Also, we are still trying to conquer iTunes, so if you haven't yet, please head over and subscribe to us on iTunes. You literally just click a button. It should take a second, and that will help us look more impressive to Apple, so we can move up the ranks on their service. I'm going to throw a quick note out there, but I think by the time this episode releases, it'll be too late for most of you to join. We are starting our AAA Podcast Fantasy Football League. The entry fee is now $50. You send the money to aaamitsugi@gmail.com via PayPal. Do not mention fantasy football on PayPal in the notes. Otherwise, I will get in trouble, and you'll be given an invite. However, at the time that this is being recorded, there's only two spots remaining. So if you're listening live or if you're listening recorded sometime in the middle of next week, you can take a shot at entering. If the league is full, I will simply refund your money. So that's something I need to throw out there. So on this episode, we're going to be doing Enter Edgelord, Edgy Ass Anime. We're going to do a topic on like anime fashion and character designs and stuff like that, but I think that I really wanted to have all of the hosts available for that topic because it was going to be kind of a bigger, more difficult topic. So we are going to be talking about some of the nastier, more edgy shows out there that have been, that had been created that people remember because of how edgy they are. And this was suggested by Sakura Tetris from the Discord. So the Discord is definitely
popping off.
It's popping off. It's definitely a happening place, and people on there are requesting topics. Did you know that they're making a game show for us?
A what?
Yeah.
Oh, I did hear about this.
Yeah. So
that they're
I've been working
they're putting together like questions and stuff.
Someone's going to join the podcast, and this is going to be in a couple weeks. Someone's going to join the podcast and play game show host, and we're going to play against each other.
Oh, do we know who?
We don't know who the host will be yet.
Okay.
But I'm told that they are all working in secret to organize it. So thank you.
They're plotting against us.
Yes, thank you to those of you that are doing that. All right, we have impressions as well. I'm going to be doing Anglo-Mois Genkol Kasenki.
That name sounds terrible.
It does.
You know why? Because it sounds like moist, and moist might be the worst word in the English language.
It's pretty bad. I'm also going to be doing Backstreet Girls.
Okay.
Yeah. And you are going to be doing what?
I shall be doing impressions on several shows this season, including Angels of Death, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord,
Oh boy.
and Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs.
What?
That's right. Fantastic shows that
Okay.
I'm very excited to discuss.
So, all right. So it wasn't enough that we just have Hot Springs episodes sprinkled throughout in general, but now we need to have a whole show about a hot spring.
Correct.
That's kind of not bearing the lead.
The anime gods have blessed us with fantastic entertainment.
Fantastic content for all of us to enjoy. I also want to make a note real quick that we are going to play Does Mitsuki's Mom Know this week.
Yes.
This is the last batch of questions I have before I have to record more.
So you have to find another mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's too bad.
Well, she's actually going to come down here for a little bit and visit, so I will be able to subject her to more inappropriate questions and verbal badgering.
Your poor mother.
I know. She's a good
She
sport.
doesn't deserve it. She's such a nice person.
She's a good sport about it. So if you want to play Does Mitsuki's Mom Know with us, we need a player. The segment cannot happen without it. You can jump in just send Kazo a message on Discord, I guess.
Yeah.
Or even in the chat or something. I don't know. And he will help to tell you how to get into the game.
I think I have somebody already lined up, so I think we're going to be good on that.
That was fast. All
Yep.
right. And with that, you know what? I like that. Thank you for taking care of that.
Hey, that's what I'm here for, man.
You're looking handsome today.
Taking
with your
care
hair.
of stuff, saying inappropriate things about stuff.
Did I comment on your hair today?
You did.
He's working on his pompadour.
I'm definitely not. I just need a
It's
haircut.
getting there. Dude, grow it. Just grow your hair a little bit.
No.
And then comb it back in the front.
Never.
And put a little bit of like oil in it or grease or something. And dude, you're there. Can't you just do this once for me? Just for one day. And then you can go get it cut.
We'll see.
Okay. I mean, my birthday's coming up.
For your birthday?
My birthday is in 5 days.
Holy crap, you're right.
And that would make my birthday dreams come true. So you just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Okay. If you need an extra year to prepare for that, I can wait a year.
All right. Fantastic.
Yeah. All right. All right. And with further ado, are you ready to start the podcast?
Let's do it.
All right.
おー、大ニュースです。
It's time for
Big News of the Week.
Okay, so the heat waves are currently poor Japan.
Heat Wave is my stripper name.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
That's too much. That's
Next
actually-
up to the stage, it's
It's
Heat Wave.
Heat wave. Oh my god, dude.
Who's feeling toasty?
Oh god. My nuts feel toasty when I walk outside in Florida.
Yeah. It's about to get moist.
Yeah. Big about to get some swamp ass up in here. So, Japan had their horrible rain that they had. They killed hundreds of people. And now they've had a crushing heat wave that is actually so bad that it's causing sort of social political issues in Japan.
What?
Yeah, so the heat wave in Japan is so bad that it's challenging the views that people have on how to handle the heat in Japan. Because previously, just Japan has a lot of old people in it.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And the old people in Japan have this attitude where, oh, it's 106 degrees, and it literally is, but we don't really care that we have no air conditioning. We're just going to suffer through it. Like, that's their attitude.
Yeah.
And according to the article I was reading on the Japan Times, which is a great website, by the way, for those of you that want to stay in touch with Japanese news, that was possible before, like 2 decades ago, because the heat in Japan has been getting hotter and hotter as time has passed. Global warming? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. But the thing is that like previously people could get by with just fans and stuff in their house. But no longer is this really helping. But people have these entrenched views about how to handle the heat. And so there's the young people, and then there's the old people, and they have completely different takes on how to handle this problem.
Well, you know what they say, Mitz? If you can't handle the heat,
get
out of Japan.
Get out of Japan.
Get out of the country.
I thought you were gonna make a strip club joke.
Oh.
So
if you can't handle the heat,
then don't look at my junk.
Yeah.
So
avert your eyes.
Should I play like the Chucky's Bag of Love theme so you can?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
So, quote, "We are observing unprecedented levels of heat in some areas," said Motoaki Takekawa from the Japan Meteorological Agency, adding that the heat wave was, quote, "a threat to life, and we recognize it as a natural disaster. There have been 77 deaths and 30,000 hospitalizations as of last week."
Good Lord.
In Ibaraki Prefecture, which is where I used to live, that's why I wrote the note down, which is north of Tokyo, a 91-year-old woman was found collapsed in a field and later pronounced dead in a hospital. I don't know why a 91-year-old woman was walking around in a field anyway, but so there's no air conditioning in lots of places where you think it might be needed.
Yes, they don't have a lot of central air normally.
They do not.
Yeah. Which is something that I just assumed everybody had central air. Like I was like, I've never not had it in my life. But yeah, I guess a lot of people just don't.
Yeah, because in the United States, people just don't lack that central air. They have it, generally speaking. Mm-hmm. And so, for example, this topic's very much a cultural note for Japan because, I feel like we're in a position to share that with you. And in the house that I used to live in Japan, I had no central air. It was a very large house, but that central air conditioning unit did not exist. Instead, and a lot of that is because the walls are thin.
Yeah.
And they make them like that for earthquakes.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have the space in between the walls to have air flowing around.
Yeah.
But in Japan, what they'll do is they'll stick a huge air conditioning unit up in like the corner of every room in the ceiling.
Right. Yeah. I think we've all seen those. Like if you ever see like an anime where you go into like it's showing somebody's bedroom, there's that unit up like at the top corner near the window.
And you should have seen them too in Japan.
Yeah.
Because our place
we had them in like our places
hostel
that we
or whatever.
Yeah.
They have a remote and they do a good job. But you have one in like every room because they can only handle like one room. But older people don't want to use them because the electric bill is tremendous. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people's houses don't have them. Schools don't have them. And I experienced this firsthand because every public school that I had in Japan did not have air conditioning, including during the summer. And being in dress clothes, I literally, and being fairly heat intolerant myself, this was a true struggle trying to survive day to day in Japan's schools. I would do things such as hiding in classrooms that were dark because it was cooler.
Oh my gosh.
Or like splashing water over my face and my neck from the water fountains and stuff, which I must have looked like a fool compared to the teachers, but like I'm literally dying.
Yeah.
And the schools do not have this convenience. And so for the safety of children, the government is starting to go through some actions to help children, to protect the children, because Japan's very focused on their children because they don't have many of them.
Yeah, as we've discussed many times before, the population is declining because there's not a lot of babies.
It's declining fast, by the way.
So
they've extended summer vacation to protect kids, so they're keeping them out of the schools a little longer. This is the ridiculous thing that is the touching point here. The reason why they don't have AC in schools, even right now, is, quote, persevere through inconvenience.
That's bullshit.
They want to teach children how to suffer through something that's inconvenient. So they're going to make them suffer so that they're conditioned to deal with the harsh realities of life or whatever. Like, if we have these children sitting in 105-degree classrooms, now they'll be used to suffering through inconvenient things, so that when they're adults, they can better handle heat or working 700 hours a day or whatever the hell Japanese people have to deal with.
Yeah, you know what it really is that we don't want to spend the money on it, and so we're going to try to come up with an excuse and be like, it's just because we're trying to teach them a life lesson about being hot and feeling like shit.
Well, let me tell you something. Japanese public schools are pretty much shit anyway.
Dude, yes.
They are, they're shocking, actually. They're very standardized. Every classroom, every music room, every gym, they have the exact same tools, implements, musical instruments, posters on the walls. Everything is standardized. but the buildings themselves are shit. Like they're rusted. Some of them have rust all over them.
Yeah.
It's shocking. A couple
They're
of the
super
schools.
old.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, nothing's been replaced ever.
The one school, Fukuoka Shogaku, which was my favorite school because they loved me and I loved them. They were so friendly and kind. But that school had a record of how many children were at the school from the day that the school opened.
Wow.
And it's been declining ever since, like, at some point because the population's dropping. But that school building had been used for something like 80 years.
Jeez.
Talk about an old school.
Yeah.
So
Old school.
Yeah.
Talk about
Old school. Yeah.
Right, sorry.
I got it. I'm
I
with
see.
you.
I see.
I don't know where we'd be without you.
I don't know.
Also,
Probably way better off.
Also, hospitals and gymnasiums oftentimes don't have air conditioning. So you would think that
Hospitals?
two of the places you would think that you would need AC more than ever. Now, I'm not saying all hospitals. They didn't specify how many, but some hospitals do not have AC, and gymnasiums do not have AC.
I feel like hospitals is important, though.
I agree. Dude, trust me, I agree. So,
wow.
there needs to be more acceptances of the old ways of beating the heat that aren't going to be... The old ways of beating the heat aren't going to be sufficient going forward.
Right.
And Japan needs to drop the old-fashioned approaches to handling the heat and start adopting things. In the article, they even compared having that AC conversation with your parents or whatever to suffering through an awkward Thanksgiving dinner with your in-laws. And I was like, that's how bad it's gotten because they refuse to do it.
This is it's ridiculous. It's like on one hand you appreciate Japan and their inclination to respect the old ways and kind of like stick to these old ways of doing things, and it's cool because there's a lot of like history that you can go and see and be a part of, but at the same time you need to understand that there have been changes in the world and this is not the best way to be doing things.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Then
again, you're talking about a country where to build the air-conditioned infrastructure, I mean, you're talking just massive amounts of money.
True.
But hopefully they'll get there, especially if it's a necessity.
Yeah.
But what I will tell you, arcades are air conditioned. All your ramen shops and like Sakiyas and Koko Ichiban, those are all air conditioned.
Goddamn right.
Onsen have cold baths and are generally just a place to get clean and relax. Anyway.
But they also have rooms that if you walk into, like, you're immediately blinded. It's like you walked into like pepper spray.
What do you mean, the saunas?
Yeah, they have like saunas where they pump like spices into the air.
You really don't like sauna, do you?
No, I don't.
I love it.
But no, but there was one room where you literally it was like I don't know what it was, but it was like some kind of like spices that they put in the air. And so like I walked in, I was like, oh god, my eyes, they burn.
Yeah, it might have been the salts or something that they put in there. So I don't know, but my point being that at least to me, the important places are all air conditioned. So and the subways and stuff are air conditioned. So all right, moving on to shall we move on?
Let us
prepare for trouble.
make it
double.
Shut up! You haven't had one useful thing to say since you got here.
All right. So it's not really a Japan podcast, but I like talking about Japan. But now we're going to talk about anime.
Okay.
So
I feel like it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely, I mean, come on now. So it seems like the film industry in Japan isn't doing so well right now. So there was an article that was discussing the struggle that films have had in the, quote, post-Miyazaki film era. So Toho Animation Distributors is a company that has worked with a lot of film companies in Japan to bring their movies to the big screen.
Okay.
And before they tended to focus very heavily on Studio Ghibli's works because those movies were always like slam dunk home runs.
Yeah.
For a good while they were. And I think like Spirited Away still has the record, or one of those movies does. So Makoto Shinkai's Your Name was a huge hit in 2016, right? Miyazaki retired 5 years ago, but has since come out of retirement and is planned to release a new movie called How Do You Live?
Shocking.
Which will come out in 2019, supposedly. Mm-hmm. But many fans are also eagerly awaiting Makoto Shinkai's new movie, which will come out with an undetermined date.
I feel like I have Makoto Shinkai hot takes.
Do you?
I don't think he's that great, to be honest with you.
He's definitely no Miyazaki.
This could be an entire topic.
It should be, probably. He's definitely no Miyazaki.
Let's jot that down. Let's have a...
I'll have that conversation.
Yeah.
He's no Miyazaki. I'll just say that.
I think he's overrated, to be honest. I said it.
I
said it.
I think Mamoru Hosoda is better than Shinkai. But anyway, so current film directors are really in a tough spot because they're sandwiched between the success of Miyazaki and Your Name and the anticipation of the upcoming Miyazaki and Shinkai movies that are going to be coming out next year and beyond. And an article I was reading was observing how much money recent films have been making, and it's not very good. So when Marnie was there, which is a Ghibli film that came out after Miyazaki,
Right.
was viewed as a failure. Mamoru Hosoda's Boy and the Beast,
Which was awesome.
struggled to gain popularity in Japan. It didn't do very well. And Mamoru Hosoda's new film, Mirai of the Future, which opened last Friday, is doing even worse than The Boy and the Beast did. So
Why do you think Mamoru Hosoda isn't as big as somebody like, let's say, a Shinkai? Even though I would say, and I feel like you would agree, his work is, I would say, much better. I think he's incredible.
I don't know if I can answer that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think both of their movies are gorgeous. Sometimes it's as simple as how you're marketing the movie.
True.
How are you delivering the message to the public? Or maybe it's something as simple as one movie is, maybe it's not written well, but it's extraordinarily beautiful. Like, we can't deny Shinkai's gorgeous movies, even if his movies, even if you might feel like his movies don't have the meaning or whatever.
I would say his backgrounds are gorgeous.
Well,
I would say some of the models are off in some of his movies. So I mean, it's hit and miss for me.
I haven't seen all of Hosoda's movies. I've seen pretty much all of Shinkai's movies, and I think Shinkai's movies are gorgeous. I don't think that they're always well written or thought provoking.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty much the same story over and over again.
In some ways, yeah. You know, so, but it's just, so we were having a conversation last week or whatever about bringing out these anime films to conclude a series. And in this article seems to suggest that may not go too well. And it seems like the movies that are doing well in Japan are the ones for little kids, which are...
I mean, I think that's pretty universal, though. I mean, like, little kid movies tend to do really well because there's a shitload of kids, and also, like, they don't have to be the most, like, thought-provoking or anything like that. It's just, slap some pretty colors on there and make a bad guy, and the good guy wins, and hey, kids love it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. But I don't think that Mirai of the Future, for example, was for kids. And I don't think The Boy and the Beast was for kids either. And Your Name wasn't for kids.
True.
No, that definitely not.
Yeah.
I mean, there was even like a boob groping scene in Your Name.
Dude, you know what's sad, though, is to look at some of the stuff that kids are into these days. I know it's going to make me sound like a really old person.
Like,
but
be careful what you say.
Because
there are some people that are very defensive.
No, it has nothing. So I've had my 13-year-old cousin kind of staying with me for a few days.
Well,
right?
we know he loves strip clubs.
And yeah.
He loves them titties.
Grand Theft Auto.
Slap around some titties.
Some of the, like, we were like driving pretty far today, and so I like gave him my phone so he can like be on YouTube, so he wasn't bothering me in the car. And all the stuff he watches on YouTube is basically just loud noises and bright colors.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is he ever not on YouTube?
No. That's another thing. Kids these days like spend 100% of their awake hours connected to some kind of electronic device, and the majority of the time it's absorbing completely pointless like media. Like, it's just all the stuff he watches on YouTube is dudes yelling obscenities and laughing loudly.
Isn't that what YouTube is for the most part?
I mean, not really.
Well, I guess not.
We're currently on YouTube.
Yeah, we are. That's true. I don't know. So, like, my short rant there would be, like, I am connected to an electronic device pretty much all the time.
Well, yeah, yes.
Because I use my phone
Your
a
phone
lot.
is always dying.
I use my phone a lot. I'm probably in the top
You're a bit
2
obsessed.
or 3% of phone usage.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I spent most of my time outside, exploring the forest, building, like, tree forts.
Yeah. Finding boxes of porn in the forest.
Yeah. Dude, that actually happened.
Me too. It happens.
What?
Yes. This happened.
Did we just become best friends?
I feel like that happened a long
Do you want
time
to go?
ago.
Do you want to go boxing in the garage?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
That really did happen, though.
Yeah, no, it happened to a lot of us.
It's so random.
I feel like it was a conspiracy with adults in the 90s. Like, where there was like where every time an adult came across a forested area, they would place a box of porn there just for us to find. Cuz like every kid I know that grew up in our era.
Boy, we're going down a big spiral here. There's a lot to say.
I know.
Dude, think about it. You're a married man and you're with your wife.
Yes.
You're not quite satisfied.
Okay.
And you got porno mags.
Right, but you can't keep them in the house because
You
you'll
can't.
find them.
You can't. She'll find them.
Yes.
Nowadays, you can just go to the bathroom, pull up some Pornhub on your phone.
Yes.
You know.
Open an incognito tab. So
Yeah,
you can't
and
track
just
it.
take care of your business and then leave.
Yeah, fire off some knuckle children.
Fire off knuckle children. Jesus Christ. Ridiculous. But back then, they're literally burying their shame in the forest.
That's true.
It's embarrassing.
It's getting rained on and stuff.
And then boom, some little kid comes along
Here's a
and
question.
has his innocence shattered by some magazine.
When you found the box of porno mags, was
Yeah.
there also like an old couch?
No.
Okay,
It was a box.
All right, because there was like an old, worn-out couch and empty beer bottles there too. I think it was like homeless people or something that hung out.
That was a sad time.
Yeah.
So, what the hell was I talking about?
I don't know.
We were talking about little kid. Jesus, we are so gone.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so getting back to the point. So, like, movies that are coming. Oh, so the Detective Conan movies are doing very well.
Yes.
Like, just about as well as they've ever done. They're making a lot of money. But those movies are for children and adults. I don't know, but those properties are so popular. Like the Doraemons and the Detective Conans and the Shin-Chans. Those movies are always going to be huge hits because those properties are just by far the biggest properties in Japan. Something like a Boruto or maybe even a Naruto can't touch Detective Conan. It's just too big.
Really?
Dude, Detective Conan is huge.
Okay.
It's got 40 movies.
Yeah, true.
It's been going on forever. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I could get into it, but I'm so far behind I can't. It's almost like One Piece.
Yeah.
So
good luck.
I worry about for example, the Legend of the Galactic Hero movies.
That's not gonna make any money.
I mean, in this climate, if friggin' Mamoru Hosoda's new film that looks gorgeous can't make money, how is Legend of the Galactic Heroes gonna make any money?
I don't know.
It probably ain't.
No,
It ain't gonna make no money.
it ain't.
I'm worried about it.
It's unfortunate.
I'm also worried about Miyazaki's movie coming out because his films weren't doing super well before he left. Mostly because his movies, not because they don't gross well, but because they spend horrendous amounts of money to make them.
Yeah.
If he would just outsource his labor to Korea like everybody else.
That, though.
No, we had that conversation a long time ago.
Yeah.
He refuses. He's
Yeah.
like the old man with the old people with the air conditioners.
Yeah, but I feel like his reasoning for that is a bit more noble.
It's like kind of racist too.
Well, maybe racist as well.
By the way, he's for sure one of those guys that's like suffer through the heat.
Oh, 100%.
He's like putting his cigarettes out on his arm. Like, I don't care about this heat. He'll smoke a cig and just put it down on his arm.
Yell at kids. As
I love the flames. I love the smell of my burning flesh.
He's sitting out on his porch just baking under the sun.
Flicking his cigs at like little kids as they walk by.
Yeah.
Well-
Just yelling, Santa Claus isn't real as the kids walk by.
I don't think they celebrate Santa Claus in
I know.
Japan.
No, they have Colonel Sanders, right? Dressed up like Santa Claus.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gave him a hug
Get
once.
that Christmas chicken.
Good Lord. Anyway, so the film industry's not doing well.
All right. Good to know.
Do we have a person for it? Does Mitsuki's mom know?
We do, if you'd like. I can't. Well, let's see here.
I'm inept, so would you mind handling the logistics while I pull up our second soundboard?
Sure. Let me message them real quick.
We have 3 soundboards, by the way, people. We have so many drops. So, yeah. So while you do that, I'm gonna opine about Miyazaki's new movie. It's called How Do You Live? And I don't know much about this movie, but Miyazaki's films have taken an unusually realistic turn as he got older and older. The movies that we love from Miyazaki are the stuff that he made in the 80s and the 90s. The Porco Rosso, Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, Cat Returns, or not Cat Returns, Kiki's Delivery Service, Totoro. All these movies are very much fantasy films, and we love them. We love Miyazaki's take on fantasy. But his most recent movies, which included The Wind Rises, don't have the same sort of fantasy flair that his older films had. And a movie called How Do You Live doesn't sound like a fantasy film. And I would like to see this has got to be his last movie, right?
Who knows?
I mean,
I don't know.
he's
about 1,000 years old.
he's like, I don't even know, he's 80, I think.
Yeah.
It's got to be his last movie.
His anger will fuel him.
I'd love to see
His hatred can keep him alive.
He'll make whatever he wants, but I would like to see him go back and make a fantasy movie for his last film.
That would be beautiful.
It would be.
All right.
Yep. Do we have fresh meat for?
We are ready if you want to hit the music. Or I guess, let me bring them in real quick.
Go ahead and bring him in. All right, so
hello.
Corny Mystic, I have to apologize. You're going to hear yourself on echo. We have insufficient technology to do this perfectly, so please bear with us while we struggle through this segment.
Yes, can you hear us?
Yeah, sure. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, cool. So what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Monica, and I'm calling from the UK.
From the UK. Okay.
We have a lady.
Yes.
Yes, hello.
That is fantastic. Well, welcome to the podcast.
One of the 5 female listeners.
One of the
that we have.
5.
Yeah.
So we are going to be playing Does Mitsuki's Mom Know? For those of you that don't know the rules of the game, it's a simple game. My mother knows some things about anime, but she doesn't know a lot. But she knows enough to be dangerous.
Yes.
And with that being said, we're going to be playing some clips for you. And your objective, of course, is to guess whether or not my mother, unassuming though she may be, whether or not she knows the answers to these questions.
Yes.
And if you can get 3 out of 5 correct, which I hope you do, because are we on a losing streak?
I feel like we are.
Like 2 or 3 in a row losing. I feel like this game's not that hard.
No. I feel like you can basically just answer yes to every question, and you're probably gonna win.
Monica, if you get 2,
No, I'm not gonna listen to your advice, Kazuo.
What?
No.
Oh,
first
goodness.
off,
I've been listening to the show long enough to know that's
She
a bad
knows
idea.
better.
How rude.
She knows she figured you out. So, Monica, it's all up to you. If you get 3 out of 5 correct, I hope you do. We will be rewarding you, and I hope you can succeed where everybody else has been failing.
Yeah, totally.
Would you like to get started?
Yes, please.
All right, here comes your drop. It's time for Does Mitsuki's Mom Know? The game show that pits Mitsuki's unassuming mother against anime's most basic questions. Now here are your hosts, the Anime Addicts. Monica, are you able to hear the drop that we just played?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Fantastic. Just want to make sure.
Oh, this is a mess of technology in here. We are literally bathing in wires.
Yeah,
It's
everything's plugged
ridiculous.
into everything.
All right, so I've already explained the rules. Are you feeling lucky today?
Definitely, yes.
I love that. All right, so I'm going to give you a sample question, and mostly for the people listening, because not everybody is a seasoned listener as you are. And you may already know the answer to this question, but let's go with the sample. Are you ready?
Yes.
Which of these are not human anime characters? Totoro, Sailor Moon, or Vegeta?
I think you've already used that sample before.
Oh, we did.
But just to give you an idea
It's just
of how the game works.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think she knew the answer.
I think she did too. All right, so here's the answer. Which of these are not human anime characters? Totoro, Sailor Moon, or Vegeta?
Totoro. Of course.
Of course.
Of course. All right, so that would be a correct answer. So,
Yeah.
but of course that one doesn't count, unfortunately.
Of
But
course.
but I have a good feeling about you. Are you ready to have your first real question? And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Mitsugi. Yes.
Let's do it. It's go time. What is the name of Kiki's cat in Kiki's Delivery Service? Keeping in mind that my mother has seen she's seen about half of the Ghibli movies, but she somehow still manages to sometimes answer easy questions incorrectly, so you just never know.
So the question is, does she know the name of the cat?
Yeah, does she know the name of the cat? We all know it's Gigi.
Yeah. I feel like that's a bit too difficult for her, so I'm gonna go with no.
Okay, she says no. Should I lock you in on a no?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she's talking trash about your mom, dude. She says it's too difficult.
She was talking trash about you.
That's true.
Straight up sniped you down.
How rude.
All right. Are you sure you don't want to ask Kazuo? Because he seems to know all the answers.
Nah, Kazu, you can just sit in the corner quietly.
Oh my God.
Oh, why did I even come
Wow.
back?
Okay, here comes the answer. What is the name of Kiki's cat in Kiki's Delivery Service? Really?
No.
You don't even know this one?
No,
Oh my God. I can't make it any easier.
I know.
His name's almost the exact same as her name.
Gigi.
That's right.
Oh, yay.
Oh shit, no! Oh.
Ha! That's what she
She
said.
almost didn't know it. Why did she pull out?
She's a wild card.
Oh my lord.
That's okay. I still have faith in you. I believe.
I don't.
Wow.
I'm hoping for your downfall.
Whether you win or lose, Monica, I'm going to play you a funny clip at the end of this game just for your enjoyment. How about that?
Oh yeah, cool. Is it gonna be from Doki Doki Club because Monica?
It won't be. It'll be my mother asking me a question.
Ooh.
Oh,
We've
okay.
never
Yeah.
had that one before.
I'm intrigued.
Are you? Oh yeah. You should be. Are you ready for your second question? And I wish you clairvoyance on the second one. you ready?
Yes, let's do better than the first one.
Tezuka is often called the father of manga. What is his first name?
Did you catch that question? I could play it again for you.
No, I got it. Osamu Tezuka question, right?
Yeah.
There's no way she's gonna know it. For one thing, I don't think she reads manga.
I'm not sure she knows what manga is, to be fair.
Oh my lord.
All right, well, let's see. Well, you sounded pretty sure, so let's find out.
Tezuka is often called the father of manga. What is his first name? It's like the most famous person. He's even more famous than Miyazaki.
Nobuo.
No.
Oh, what?
Nice job reaching for the one Japanese name you know, though. That was good. Not bad.
All right, so you got that one right. That's good. I like that. So now
Nice.
You have covered
boy.
You have covered your first miss, and the children love it.
Nobuo Tezuka.
Well, she knows Nobuo Uematsu from Final Fantasy.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's where she pulled that from.
Gotcha.
All right, you ready for question 3? Feeling good?
Bring it on.
Oh, I like her. Okay, here we go.
Name for me 2 magical girl anime.
Ooh.
Ooh. I feel she's definitely gonna say Sailor Moon and probably Cardcaptor Sakura. I think she should know this.
Okay. Am I locking you in on a she knows it?
Yeah.
Name for me 2 magical girl anime.
I don't understand magical girl.
Oh no.
It's where a
Please.
girl like transforms into another girl, but like she's wearing like a fancy outfit and when she uses magic.
Okay, well, there's Chobits.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
Air.
Nope.
No, what is it?
What?
Sorry, I can't think of any.
She's just naming
What?
shows with girls.
How does she not know Sailor Moon? Oh my god, Mitsugi, you're slacking.
That's right. Blame him.
Well,
It's all your fault.
I don't
Slacking
know
in
what to tell you.
educating your mother.
I will say it's explaining what a magical girl is quite hard. Actually, if you think about it.
I would have thought it's self-explanatory,
I mean,
but I
yeah,
guess
it's
I'm
a-
just a weeb.
It's a girl that transforms into a magical girl. Like, I don't...
Into a magical version of herself. I don't know. And we're all weebs deep down in our souls.
What's sad is your mom
Filthy,
probably knows
filthy
more
wits.
about Berserk than she does about magical girls.
She knows more about
Oh,
Ninja
wow.
Scroll.
Jesus.
She's a Ninja Scroll connoisseur.
That poor woman.
All right. Okay. All right. You're not eliminated yet. We're still alive here. So are you ready for question 4? I have faith.
Oh, fingers crossed,
I
yes.
still believe in you. Here we go.
1 Outs is an anime about what sport?
She would only know it if she's seen it. I cannot imagine you playing sport anime to her.
I feel like the name kind of tells you though, right? It's 1 out.
Oh shit, is she gonna guess?
I don't know. I wish I could help you.
Kazuo's butthurt. He's like, I'm sitting in the corner, but you could ask Kazuo.
What do you think, Kazuo, my friend?
Why do I feel like you're gonna go with the opposite of what I say? So now what was the question? Did you ask her at what sport? It's
I
about?
asked her, I said the anime, you want me to play the question again?
Sure.
Okay, here comes the question one more time.
Let's see.
1 Outs is an anime about what sport?
She knows it. I'm gonna say she knows it. Because you specifically mentioned sports, so she's gonna be thinking sport, and then 1 out is like, yeah, baseball, obviously.
Okay, to be fair, I think that makes sense. I'm gonna go with she knows it.
Monica, in a surprising turn of events, is going back on her prior claim and is taking Kazuo's advice.
You know, Mitts, they always come back.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
All right, I'm gonna lock you in, and here's the answer.
1 Outs is an anime about what sport?
Must be baseball.
That's right.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Can Kazuo come out of the corner?
Yes, Kazuo, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Thank you.
She's forgiving.
It's yes.
I truly appreciate you now.
You know what? I appreciate you too.
All right, so if you've been watching us long enough, all right, I'm just gonna play the last question for you, and then I will add a piece of information to the last question after it is. This last question is a little. I think I made it up on the spot. So, are you ready for your final question? If you get this one correct, you will win the game and succeed where many have failed.
Oh my boy, my heart is beating so hard.
Okay, well, it's going doki doki. Let's do this.
Doki doki for
Can you
Monica.
name 2 of the characters that are sitting on this table.
And I should say that at this time we had a lot of anime figures on the table,
Okay.
and they're not the figures that are on the
Oh.
table right now.
Currently, we've just got
We have
Bulma,
Bulma and Goku right now, but there were a lot on the table.
previously there were a bunch.
Yeah, we had like Totoro, we had Utena, and some others as well. So
Did you have more Miyazaki characters than Totoro?
I don't believe we own any other. We do have a Gigi, but I don't. It's very small. I don't think it was on the table then.
Were there any Pokemon?
We tend to have a lot of Dragon Ball characters, and we definitely had a Totoro, and we had Utena, and I think we had some JoJo's was our adventure characters, and we had maybe a Luffy.
And she has to name 2 of the
Okay, so no
characters.
Pikachu.
I don't recall there being a Pikachu. No.
Okay, so I think she's gonna be able to name the Totoro, but nothing else. So I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Okay. Am I locking you in?
Yes, please.
Can you name 2 of the characters that are sitting on this table?
Well, Goku's one. Oh, and of course Totoro.
Oh shit!
I
Yeah,
knew
that was
she was
2.
gonna Goku.
That's good.
Oh no!
Oh no.
I have failed all the women in the podcast.
And you get the Final Fantasy Game Over music.
Yeah. Well, I will say that despite the fact that you did not win, you're one of the more enjoyable callers we've had.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, thank you.
She was very forgiving. Much like
Kazuo, you don't get to say anything because you don't like Mushigishi, so obviously you're us
Okay.
interesting.
cultured.
All right. Well, Monica, I thank you for playing and for helping for contributing to the podcast and giving us a fun segment that everybody else hopefully enjoyed. And
Okay, thank you very much for having me.
and I'm gonna play a fun.
And I'm sorry, Kazuo, I don't actually dislike you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
One way or the other, I will be playing a fun clip for you now, but you can listen to it off air. So thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. We just can't win this game. It's a tough game.
It is very. You know what? I knew she would know that last question though, because I'm like, she's definitely gonna know Totoro, and if Goku's on the table, she obviously knows who Goku is.
Yeah. She knows Totoro and Goku
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Here's the fun clip that I promised you guys. I called it funny bonus.
Maybe you should ask me a question.
Ask you an anime question? Okay. What would be my favorite SUV if I could pick one out of the whole
It's
world?
random.
SUV?
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares about that?
It's pertaining to anime.
I have no idea.
What?
Cat bus.
That's not an SUV.
Well,
It's a
yeah,
bus.
It is, kind of.
Cat bus is a bus.
Okay. Well, some SUVs are almost as big as a bus.
I just love my response. I go, who the fuck cares about that? Oh, man. She's a wily one.
That's
Difficult to predict.
Your mom's hilarious.
All right, guys. So thank you again to Monica for calling in.
Yes.
I will say that it's not like she failed in anybody's expectations because no one seems to win this game. But we're going to continue to play it because when my mother comes down to babysit my cat when I go visit Enzo, I will be putting her through a battery of additional questions so we can have more Does Mitsuki's Mom Know? Assuming everybody wants that. So, all right, we're going to head to the news. Would you like to take us out of here, Cosmo?
Sure. So before we go on our news break, we have our trivia for the week, which is on the website. Of course, you can head over to AAAPodcast.com.
Oh, I skipped the trivia.
That's right. But I've got it.
Okay, I'm
I
going to
got you.
back off the music then.
I got you,
for
bro.
now. All right.
So the answer for this week, of course, you go to the website. It's on there. The answer was Ponyo. It was a really difficult photo, I guess. Or is that a joke?
Very difficult. It was literally a picture of a bowl of ramen.
Oh, geez.
No characters, no background, nothing.
Wow. Well, that being said, we got quite a few correct answers.
Yeah, I don't know how this is possible. I think the anime style, the art style must have been the tip off.
So those that got the answer right were Icy Rose, Nisekoi Maiko, Chibi Rob, that bearded guy, Manly Mudkip, fisting her North Star, Cocoa Puffs 89, the Almighty One Eats Sweets, Forest Stickman, Nelly 1876, Golden Jedi Link, Bill Nye the Russian Spy, and Outlaw Mazinger.
You got some good names.
Yes.
I want you to know that you're all winners for getting this right because it was legit really hard.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And the winner for the week, our good friend
That's right.
from the other side of the flat world,
Yeah,
Icy Rose.
Icy Rose, yet again winning again. He's feeling his luckiness lately.
That's right.
And the theme is still anime food.
Yes.
So we have 2 more questions.
Now, before we go on our break, we have our in-show weekly trivia question, which we will answer after the break for you. It is this. The cross from anime cross game is often represented with the symbol of a 4-leaf clover. What does each leaf of the 4-leaf clover represent? We'll tell you right after the break.
Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is me, Tsugi, and it's time for your anime news break. Leading us off, thousands of Japanese rally to protest LDP lawmaker Mio Sugita's remarks regarding LGBT people. This was a pretty large rally that was held out in front of the Liberal Democratic Party's headquarters. They were calling for the resignation of the lawmaker Mio Sugita, who had branded LGBT people as, quote, unproductive. Sugita is facing criticism over an article that she contributed to in a magazine, Shincho 45, in which she argued that taxpayer money should not be spent on policies that support the LGBT community because these people, quote, do not bear children. In other words, they are, quote, unproductive, which is probably undoubtedly a very controversial statement and most likely brought about by the crisis of the Japanese population, but in any event, there's a lot of angry people, and she may probably resign in the future. We will see. Next up, it looks like there is another natural disaster in Japan that is affecting people. Typhoon 12, known as Jongdari, is coming to Japan's southern coast and is going to cause lots of havoc with sustainable winds of 84 miles an hour. It's a Category 2 hurricane. They are having the 71st Numazu Summer Festival on the Kano River, which was canceled due to this typhoon. So there was a festival that was going to be kicking off on Saturday with a broadcast of Awkward's Idols, an anime series. However, they had to cancel all of this to protect people from the hurricane. So it looks like things just keep being bad in Japan in terms of the weather. We hope it'll improve soon. Next up, it looks like a manga titled Honjitsu Watashi wa Enjo Shimashita is canceled due to an online controversy. This is a manga that is about a girl who likes to cause online controversies, and it's now being ironically canceled due to an online controversy. The creator of the manga is, quote, has been caught by making very controversial and discriminatory comments on Twitter as early as, 6 years ago. In the post, the creator included slurs referring to Korean people, disparaging remarks against foreigners, and criticism of people on welfare. So, the moral of the story is don't ever say anything bad ever, otherwise you will get in trouble. So, but this manga is being canceled, it looks like. So if you are a fan of this manga, I apologize for the loss of your favorite manga. Next up, Attack on Titan's creator discusses the 3rd season of Attack on Titan's increased pace. Viewers that have been watching the 3rd season of Attack on Titan may have noticed that the plot is moving at a very fast pace, and Hajime Isayama has given some explanation for this. He says that volumes 13 through 16 of the manga were very slow due to in part of the fact that he wasn't feeling very well and had very little energy, and so he has encouraged a reform of the script in order to move through this section of the story a little bit quicker than you might expect, to improve the quality of the anime production. So if you're wondering why Attack on Titan is moving along at a blistering pace right now, it's because the creator himself wishes to hurry along through this section of the story. This is Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. Now it's time to get back to the podcast.
Mandy, I've got a great idea.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, what if, now hear me out, what if we did additional episodes? I'm talking hobby addicts, after parties, maybe even hentai episodes, if you're nasty.
Well, I mean, we already do all of those.
Hold on, what?
Yeah, we've been doing that for years.
How did I not know about this?
You've been in like a ton of those episodes.
Come on, Mandel.
My name is Mandy.
Okay, Medward. You know I don't pay attention to things like that.
Like yourself speaking?
Huh? Well, I'm glad now we're making millions off these extra episodes.
Actually, they're only like a couple bucks a month.
Wait, what?
Yeah, if you go to AAAPodcast.com/join, you can sign up to get access to all of our extra podcast goodness for just a few bucks a month.
Whoa, that is a steal. All right, so where do I go to sign up?
I just told you. AAAPodcast.com/join. And besides, you're in those episodes.
Huh?
Just go to AAAPodcast.com/join already.
この番組は J-list.com の提供でお送りします。
Welcome back to the podcast, episode 432 of the Addicts Anonymous podcast.
Bienvenido, mis amigos.
I love that. All right, so welcome back to the podcast.
Hi.
Yokoso, Anime Addict Anonymous podcast today. We had a trivia question before we left.
We sure did, Mitsuki. I'm glad you asked.
Okay,
What?
well, do it, my friend.
Oh.
Do it now.
So the trivia question was about the anime Cross Game.
That's right. It's a
One of the
masterpiece.
greatest
It's a
sports
masterpiece.
anime of all time.
Yeah.
It says here in the anime Cross Game, the cross is often represented with the symbol of a four-leaf clover. What does each leaf of the clover represent?
That's right. An answer?
The four daughters of the Tsukishima family.
That's right. If you've seen that anime, then you definitely knew the answer.
I have not seen this anime,
On that note,
but I would like to watch it. Mitsuki, how can I watch this anime?
on the Discord, starting on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be beginning a watch party from episode 2 of Cross Game.
Okay.
That being said, episode 1 of Cross Game is astonishing.
Yes.
It's one of the best first episodes I've ever seen in an anime. So if you're interested in Cross Game,
Watch episode 1.
come join the Discord. Watch episode 1 before Tuesday. Well, it'll probably be too late because this won't come out until Wednesday.
Well, if you're listening
But-
live,
We will continue to do it on Tuesday. So watch a few episodes of Cross Game. Jump in on the next Tuesday that you can. Join us for Cross Game's 50 episodes.
Yes.
So it will take us a while to get through it.
So Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in our Discord, which you can access from our website, AAAPodcast.com.
Also, to a courtesy to the people that are watching live, I want you to know that we now only have one spot left in our fantasy football league. So if you're watching live and you wanted to join, you will be able to do it before the 10,000 other people listen to this on Wednesday. So get on the PayPal and send your money in so you can lock yourself in. So that's the courtesy I'm giving to you guys that are watching live. So, all right. So on this episode, we're going to be doing a topic on we were going to do like a fashion show, but we're going to delay that. And we're going to be doing Enter Edgelord, edgy ass anime, the edgiest of the edgy.
What a great title for our episode.
So I think we're just going to run through some anime and pluck some real. Oh, here he goes.
Oh, I'm pulling up lists.
Look at that! Every time you click on a link that goes to anime, that goes to my anime list.
Yeah,
it goes. This page is unavailable because my anime list has been down for 6 months.
Oh, womp womp.
Womp womp. I'm not gonna go there. So that there are a lot of really nasty anime out there, and by nasty I mean
Nasty.
aggressively violent, gory, horrific.
Correct.
I'll start with the samurai anime that I saw a while back called Shigurui.
Ah, yes. Death Frenzy, I believe.
Death Frenzy. Yes. We've talked about this a few times on the podcast.
Classic.
Yeah. Well, you say a classic?
I mean, of sorts.
I mean, if this is a classic, anything can be a classic.
It's a classic in that it's one of those anime that a lot of us watched when we were way too young to be watching it.
Yeah.
And it ruined us for life.
Yes. Shigurui came out in 2007, and this anime is, wow, it's rough. I mean, it's not a bad show. It's decent, but there are some scenes in it that are just truly graphic. So and this is an anime that starts in the Edo period, and there's a lot of sword fighting going on.
Wait, this came out in 2007?
That's what it says.
I feel like it came out way before that, but I guess
Premiered July 2007.
Wow. I guess I wasn't too young. I was practically an adult at that point. Actually, I was an adult.
You were like 18.
Yeah.
Right? So something like that.
Yeah.
So this show is really gritty because of the detail they give on the wounds that are portrayed when they're slicing people in half. So, for example, there's a scene at the end of the show where a man gets his head sliced in half with a sword.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't just like show the head split and like blood squirt out of it.
No.
They're literally showing like the brains
Everything.
sliding out. The brains are sliding out.
Yeah.
You know, there's blood everywhere. They go into like extreme graphic detail with the gore.
Yes.
So it's extremely gory. There's also a scene in this anime where, and women are not portrayed well in the show, but it is basically like samurai, yakuza, thug type people, you know, in like the 1400s.
Yeah.
So it comes with the territory. And there's a scene in this show where a man is having sex with a woman.
Yeah, pepperonis.
The nips?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a thing.
Like pepperonis.
Wow.
Just slicing pepperonis.
So, yeah, her nipples are erect, and someone gets mad at her, and they hold her there, and they slice off her nipples with a sword. I think he does it to show how good he is with his sword. Like, I can literally...
Yeah. Hey, man, how about cut an inanimate object?
Yeah.
Like, how about I throw a playing card in the air and you slice it, all right? There, that's a good way to show
I don't think they had playing cards
I
back
don't
then,
know.
man. It was just... It was
I
nipples...
I could think of a million other ways to show you're good with a
It was
sword.
nips or nothing. Kind of like Nerf.
It's nips or
Nips or nothing. So, yeah, he slices her nipples off.
Good Lord.
I mean, this is a pretty rough show.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, find me another anime where a woman gets her nipples cut off.
I would rather not if I can avoid it.
And then I think there was like blood running down her nipple or running down her breast and stuff. It's just rough. It's super gruff.
Yeah.
If you're a person that likes that kind of thing, you know, perfect for you. More power to you. Go watch it. But if you're not into that, stay far away from Shigurui because that's pretty much what the show is.
Yeah. So the first show that I wanted to mention
is one off the top of the top 10 list that I found.
Yes.
From honeyfeed.com.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Do you have such a list?
I don't know. I just opened a bunch of tabs, but I haven't really looked at them yet.
If you find a list, I can guarantee you it'll have Dead Man Wonderland on it.
Well, let's see here. What's this?
Or Midai Nikki. One of those two will be on it because those are both really violent and they're fairly new.
Oh boy, here we go. The edgiest anime characters, according to some random website.
Okay.
Let's see here. So it looks like they voted on. There's over 100 votes, which isn't a lot.
All right, here, hold on a second. You want to go? Are you going to do this?
Sure.
Are you starting from number 10?
It is only. There's only 5.
All right, here we go.
Number 5.
Oh, that was too light. Here we go.
Number 5.
So number 5. This is a stupid list. Number 5 is Hitoshi Shinso from freaking My Hero Academia.
Is he edgy?
I guess.
There can't be anything edgy in here at My Hero Academia. It's
I
a shonen show.
He's kind of like, his power is kind of suggestion. So he will, like, you know, if basically he asks you a question, and if you answer the question, he could take over your like mind. And so he'll be like, you know, walk off of that cliff or whatever. But he's kind of like emo-ish.
All right,
And
if you
yeah.
say so.
So that came in number 5.
All right, are we number 4?
Number 4.
Number 4 is Madoka.
What?
Hey, this is number 4.
Man, you need a new list.
Hey,
This
I
is
didn't
some
make this
dog
list.
shit.
I'm sharing with you what hundreds of other people have said.
I mean, okay, so basically everybody
This is
has
the world we live in.
AKA, here's a list of the edgiest anime that include anime that only people have seen, which is about nothing.
Yes.
Okay, number 3 is
Number 3.
Number 3 is Death the Kid. From
From
what's the name of that show? The one that's
Soul
like
Eater?
Yes, Soul Eater. Thank you.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I've seen like a couple episodes of it. It's whatever.
I'm sure it's not edgy though, because the art style isn't edgy, and
It's kind of Tim
and it's a
Burton-ish.
Is that a shonen show?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
But there better be at least one non-shitty thing on here. We're banning this website forever.
I'm afraid not. Hit me with number 2. Don't look.
I didn't. I was looking at the website. I want to see which website we're banning forever.
All right.
Okay. Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Sasuke from Naruto.
What?
He's edgy. He like wants to kill his brother, and his whole family died, and he's so like emo.
When I think edgy, I think Lad Russo killing a man by holding his face onto a moving railroad tracks and then dancing around in his corpse. That's what I think of when I think edgy.
Yes, you would be. That is correct.
Madoka. Maybe the anime of Madoka has edgy scenes in it, but
it does, yeah.
But Madoka herself?
Nah.
I don't think so. Okay. Next. All right, okay, here we drum roll, please.
Number one.
Number one. I want to ask you, based on what you've heard so far, and based on what you can expect from the youth within the anime community, who would you think is number one, the most edgiest anime character of all time?
Light from Death Note.
No, the kids are the kids haven't seen Death Note. That came
Really?
out like 10 years ago.
Okay. Are you? Can you give me a hint?
I mean, it's a hell of a lot more recent than that. Just think about what kids today would be like. This is the edgiest anime.
Levi, Attack on Titan.
No. It is Kaneki from
Tokyo Ghoul.
From Tokyo Ghoul.
Ugh. Oh my god. I just need to do I have a drop from our dear friend UDA being disappointed?
Just a disappointed drop.
Do I have a disappointment drop? I don't know if I do. I don't know, but I find this list.
Is that a snoring sound effect?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty boring.
So the first show,
give us a real edgy show.
The first one that came to my mind, which is a show that I genuinely like, and a lot of people are kind of shit on it.
Yes.
But it's Elfen Lied. I really like that show. I know it's super like.
It's a bad anime, but
I mean, it's
bad.
No.
Dude, it's a bad. Well, all right, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
And I agree with you. It's very edgy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm speaking just about the quality of the show.
Okay.
Well, when was the last time you saw Elfen Lied?
It was a while. It's been years.
So in episode like 2, he takes off a girl's pants because she can't do it herself, and she pees herself.
Right. But it's because she's like all like traumatized and incapable, and she's spent her whole life in like
but they didn't need to have that scene at all.
You're right. You're right.
A lot of the show.
I'm not saying it's
like
high
that.
art. I'm just saying.
No, that show's. But I loved it at one time. I'd still watch it, but yeah, okay, it's edgy though.
So for those that haven't seen Elfen Lied or Elfen Lied or Laid or however the hell you say it, like in the opening sequence of the show, there's this girl who has like kind of telekinetic powers, but not really. You find out it's not telekinesis.
She's a Diclonius.
Ooh, nice pull.
That's the name of them.
Yeah. Which basically means she has a bunch of like invisible arms coming out of her body that are incredibly strong. And so in the opening sequence of the show, she's breaking out of this facility where she's been tested, and just people as they get close to her just become ripped apart, like arms torn out of their sockets and blood flying everywhere, heads being severed. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, the very first frame of that show is a severed arm with blood pouring out of it.
It's pretty freaking edgy.
And then it's full on nips after that.
Yeah, so that's the first one that comes to my mind. But honestly, I kind of enjoyed the show. Her character was like really screwed up, but it explained why she was the way she was.
It has good action scenes, like the fight in the graveyard between Lucy and Nana.
Yeah, that's a really good.
Is really violent and cool.
Watch. Yeah,
very hard to watch because poor Nana gets her ass handed to her so badly.
Bad,
very bad.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's a good anime though. Okay. I think if you watched it again, you would have second thoughts about it.
Maybe. It's been a while.
But you would love the violence of it. Well, for me, the next choice is obvious.
If you're thinking what I'm thinking. Oh, you're not thinking what I'm thinking, but I like it.
Oh, yeah. It's MD Geist, people. This is a violent anime. Oh, you want the saxophone? There might be a clarinet, actually.
It's a badass clarinet, dude.
It's very high, that's why I think it's going to... And this is a...
Dude.
So, MD Geist is a show about a man who was so violent and dangerous.
Most dangerous.
That they locked him in an orbital satellite.
Yes. They had to remove him from the Earth.
They couldn't kill him, so they locked him in a satellite and fired him into space.
Yes.
But the satellite crashes, and and when he lands, he's naked, and his butt cheeks.
Yes.
They are. His mullet's dangerous too.
You know what I just realized? Marvel totally copied MD Geist.
What?
Yeah, at some point they decided that the Hulk was too dangerous, so they launched him into space.
Isn't the Hulk way older than MD Geist?
Yeah, but this series that happened maybe like 10 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
So this would have been after MD Geist, as I recall.
So Geist is this guy who wants to kill everybody and everything.
Yes.
And he actually activates a machine that was someone built called the Death Machine that, when activated, would release the Death Force, which is an army of robotic insects that will wipe out humanity.
Fantastic.
And so the second half of this anime is these machines going apart, just ripping people apart. And this is an anime that came out in the 80s. So think like Urotsuki Doji, Ninja Scroll, like the most violent Devilman, some of the Devilman stuff, like the most violent of the violent, where they didn't have to hold back at all. And a lot of this stuff was direct to video. So, I mean, they could just do whatever they wanted. And we're talking about like where a guy will get where his head will get crushed, and they'll show his eyeballs falling out and shit. Like, they go all the way with it.
Mm-hmm.
MD Geist is not a great anime. It's a pretty bad anime, actually, but the character designs in it are really good. The music is good, and it is hellishly violent. And MD Geist, does he even have a name? I guess his name's just Geist.
Yeah, I think that's it.
It needs no further explanation, but that's a good one. So I did that mostly for humor.
That's awesome. So another one that comes to mind for me, which is another... This is a classic, and I think so. Here's the thing: are we going with actual edgy anime, like actual dark anime, or are we just going with like the cheesy? You know?
I'm just picking shit I think is horrifically violent and tough to watch.
The first, because the one that comes to mind right away is, of course, Berserk.
There's a lot of twisted shit in Berserk.
The original Berserk.
It's very edgy.
Not this new crap.
Dude, when was the last time you watched the first episode of Berserk?
Oh my god, it's been a while, but dude, it was freaking nuts. So
It
the
is
first episode is kind of like
shocking.
the flash forward.
Yeah, first episode is the last episode.
Right.
It's one of those.
And good lord, I mean, that show will change the way you view the world. It will alter your mind.
Hey, but watching Guts like propped up against a tree, like being haunted by like demons from hell.
Yes.
And they say things to him like, your blood, your life, even your very breath or your passions, they all belong to us.
Yeah.
It's like they own everything about him. Every drop of his being belongs to hell.
Dude.
And he's, I mean, that anime is rough. It's very edgy.
Yeah, yeah.
In more ways than just violent.
Oh yeah. No, there's, the final episode.
Oh my god, dude.
Dude, what? Dude, insane.
Yeah, the end of Berserk is shocking.
Yeah, and it's like I don't even want to spoil it, but like, good lord, if you're one of these kids and you're watching your Tokyo Ghouls and you
ain't seen shit.
I'm gonna tell you what. Go back and watch the first season of Death Note
because I've seen both of them.
Talk to me.
Death Note or like Tokyo Ghoul is nowhere remotely as edgy as Berserk.
Yeah,
just not.
Not even. Yeah, no,
not even close. Plus, Tokyo Ghoul is censored.
Yeah. Oh, heavily.
Yeah, it's a pussy shit.
Berserk was not censored. This is pre all that censored.
Get out of here with that wussy ass shit.
Yeah, that show is. So I did find another.
Not another list.
But look, so what I did here is I just looked up the top 10 dark anime.
Where are you starting from? I have drops for this.
Okay.
We gotta go quicker.
We'll go quick. Number 10.
Are we doing all 10?
We'll be quick.
I'll start the drops at like number 5 again.
Oh, but number 10 was Technolize.
Oh, for Lord's
I like
sake.
Technolize.
Number 10.
Number 10 is Technolize.
Okay.
Technolize is a show about a guy who's like a fighter.
It is dark.
And he gets like his arm and leg cut off or something.
Yoshitoshi Abe, I think, who's a super good anime creator, but I don't think he's doing much anymore.
It's pretty badass. Not very popular.
Number 9.
No.
Number 9.
Not this one.
Yes, is another.
This anime sucks.
Yes.
God, why?
Number 8.
Dead Man Wonderland.
I told you. Is this Honey Feed?
It is.
I told you it would be on the list. And Mirai Nikki will be on this list too. I guarantee it.
Number 7.
Death Parade.
Death Parade is not edgy.
That's not dark or edgy. I think that's
Bullshit.
It's a good show though. I liked it.
They were like, I've only seen 12 anime, so which one of these are the most edgy? Okay.
Yeah.
Honey Feed. Their website sucks.
Number 6.
Drifters.
Drifters
I
is-
don't even think that was.
No.
It was just action.
It's not edgy.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Psychopaths.
That's not edgy either.
Also, not even really. Yeah. Okay, but I mean, a good show. Have you noticed all of these that come out in like the past 5 years?
Nothing about these being edgy or not indicate that they're good or not. Psychopaths is a great anime.
Yes.
Drifters is actually decent too.
Yes.
Okay. Are we number 4 now?
Number 4.
Is Hellgirl.
Dude, what the fuck?
Jikogu Shoujo.
Number 3.
From the New World. I haven't seen that.
Shinsekai Yori.
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered that a long time ago.
Okay.
Number 2.
Hellsing.
Edgy.
All right.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right. This is my last shot at Mirai Nikki. How can Mirai Nikki not be on here? It
came out before they were born, dude.
It's not that old.
I know.
Number 1.
Is Berserk.
Okay.
Hey, all right.
I got one of them though.
You know what? Just when I thought, oh wait, hold on. This is the 2016 Berserk. Oh, fuck you.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Can we
you
just
know
never
what?
go to Honey Feed again?
You know what? I'm deeply offended.
Okay. So my next one is going to be a Satoshi Kon property. I think Perfect Blue is really edgy.
Okay.
Because it's psychologically tormenting in addition to being an amazing movie. I mean, have you seen Perfect Blue? Check it out if you haven't seen it.
I don't think so.
Everybody who's listening to this podcast right now who hasn't experienced Satoshi Kon's movies, Satoshi Kon was as good, if not better than Makoto Shinkai ever has been. But Satoshi Kon died very young. He was like 40 when he died.
God, he was so good too. That's really sad.
He rattled off 4 or 5 movies that would give Miyazaki a run
Yes.
for his money, and which include Millennium Actress, which is an absolute masterpiece, Tokyo Godfathers, which is a masterpiece, Paprika, which I didn't like that much, but some people love it, and of course Perfect Blue is in there as well. And Perfect Blue is this anime about an idol group called Jam, I think the name, and one of the girls on the idol group thinks she's having a mental breakdown. She's like imagining that she's seeing herself. Like, I'm going to spoil a lot of things about Perfect Blue if I talk too much about it. She thinks she's having a psychological breakdown, and there are scenes in Perfect Blue that are psychologically tormenting, and it's definitely a psychological thriller. It doesn't have a huge amount of like gore in it or anything like that, but the subject matter in Perfect Blue is really tough to watch at times, but it's a masterpiece movie for an anime. It is unbelievable. So Perfect Blue, people owe it to Satoshi Kon to at least watch a couple of his films if you haven't seen them. They are a little older, but they're movies, so they look unbelievably good. And almost everybody likes Tokyo Godfathers. That movie's so much fun, and it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's about a runaway girl, a homeless man, and a drag queen who become friends, and they find a baby in a dumpster on Christmas. And they try to find the baby's owner.
Good old dumpster baby.
It's so much fun. All right, what do you got for me?
Not
another top 10, please.
No, but I just jotted down a couple real quick.
Okay.
That some I haven't seen all of, but you have. I think you've seen all of these.
I have lost all faith in top 10 lists for today.
So I just jotted down 4 real quick. First one is School Days.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a thing.
Now, I haven't seen all of School Days. I know you have.
Well, the best part's the ending.
Yeah.
Well, I say the best part.
And I know the ending of it. So if you want to explain School Days, you probably could explain it better than I could.
Two crazy girls fight over a guy who's not worth it and end up killing each other.
Okay, well, that's a quick way to sum it up. For sure. And
there's a scene in School Days where a girl tries to lock the guy down by claiming she's pregnant.
Yes.
So the other girl gets mad and cuts her stomach open with a knife to prove she's not pregnant.
Yep.
That's the kind of fucked up shit that's in School Days.
Yeah. That's horrendous.
I mean, that's pretty bad. But the girls are totally insane.
Yes.
And he probably is too.
Yeah, so yeah, if you're looking for real edgy anime, there's one. Another one I wrote down here, which I feel like the movie is probably, but you know, I liked the show, was Blood.
Well,
Last Vampire.
Blood Last Vampire?
Yeah, the movie was really good. Blood, was it Plus? Was the first series?
I don't know. I haven't watched too many of those.
I enjoyed Blood Plus, even though it was more of like a, it was still kind of dark, but it also had like some romantic stuff in there. And then Blood Sea is just, don't even. So, but the movie Blood the Last Vampire is actually really good and pretty dark.
Okay.
I also wrote down one of your favorite anime of all time, Monster.
Yeah, it's a little edgy.
I mean, I would say it's a little edgy.
Well, you have to wait a while for the payoff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is some pretty tough stuff in there at the end, especially.
Yeah,
Very questionable subject matter.
Yeah, like serial killer, psycho type stuff.
Like brainwashing and Nazis and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Higurashi, I also jotted down real quick.
That's definitely edgy.
Yeah. So those are just a couple others that I could think of real quick.
Higurashi is very rough. There's some very, very tough to watch scenes in there. Scenes of torture. So some people have a really tough time with torture. And there's a scene in Higurashi about halfway through where they stick a person's hand to this device. They strap their arm to a table with leather straps and stick their fingernails in this like little device, and it has like this thing that you slam with your hand or use a hammer or something, and it basically rips their fingernails off. Yeah. It's a device that rips your fingernails off, and they make you watch that. It's rough. So there's some nasty shit in Higurashi for sure. Is that all you had?
That's all I had real quick. And I'm just scrolling through the chat to see if anybody else mentions anything. Icy Rose disappoints me by mentioning King's Game.
King's Game?
He says as shitty as the anime is, or it's super edgy.
Well, I mean, that thought hadn't even crossed my mind because I'm just trying to.
King's Game is dog shit.
I'm trying my hardest to never remember that exists.
Oh my god! But I guess the concept is edgy. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. There are of course lots of other edgy properties out there. There's like Wicked City, which is a movie that came out. Let's see, when did that come out?
The 80s, right?
Wicked City. A long time ago? Wicked City came out in 1987.
Okay, yeah.
Which is also known as Demon Beast City. So Demon City is about a Tokyo where a portal to hell opens up, more or less, and there's a pact between the human world and the demon world or whatever to maintain peace, but the pact is ending, and so they have to like renegotiate the contract, and there's like militant factions in the demon world that want to invade the human world, and the balance between the two worlds is getting, tossed on its head. And then there are people that are charged with like killing the demons and keeping this under control. And their scenes, like, that's one of the few anime where you'll actually see a vagina dentata.
Oh,
I mean, he's banging this chick.
Yeah.
The main character, whose name is Taki Renzaboodle, which is such a badass name. He's banging this chick. Is this her right here, Makie? This might be her right here. He's banging this chick, and she transforms into a spider while he's having sex with her. And he can't tell, but she's like extending, her legs are extending because they're doing it missionary. This is like so explicit. They're having sex missionary style, and her legs are behind him. Right. And her legs turn into like spider legs, and she wraps her legs around him and constricts him. And then her vagina grows teeth, and she tries to cut his penis off. But he gets out of there and kills her. So like shit like that goes down in Wicked City. It's crazy.
Yeah. So to defend Icy Rose's honor,
he has plenty of honor.
He does say that they're defining edgy as trying too hard to be dark. So in that case,
is that what edgy is?
It's up to interpretation.
I think all of these shows are unnecessarily dark.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess when you say edgy as in like the modern sense of like the almost like derogatory way of defining something as edgy is like, oh, how edgy is Attack on Titan? It's like kind of that, oh, you're trying so hard to be dark and brooding and
I don't find Attack on Titan edgy at all anymore.
No, not anymore. The first episode I think was pretty.
Watching whatever his name is, Mother Get Eaten was pretty rough.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Eren
Yeager. Yeah. Watching Eren's mother get eaten was pretty edgy.
Yeah.
But not a whole lot. Man, Attack on Titan, that's like a show that I feel like has really slid downhill hard.
Well, we'll find out soon.
We're going to find out
when we do our impression on season 3.
Let's see here. There's also other I think we're going to have to move on soon, but there are other ones, of course. There are oh man. Lots of movies are edgy. Right? Like
sure.
Yeah, like Ninja Scroll's edgy.
Oh, of course, yeah. Classic.
Sort of The Stranger's a little edgy. There's a lot of like gratuitous violence in there. There's a lot of violence even in like Samurai X, the OVA. That's pretty violent, but it's not really edgy.
Yeah,
it's not edgy, so to speak.
Yeah, I wouldn't define it as such.
There's movies like Biohunter, or there's an OVA, Biohunter, two-part OVA. Biohunter, I haven't thought about this in a long time.
Biohunter.
2 scientists are attempting to distribute a cure for a demon virus that is affecting people all over Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty violent. There's
Black Lagoon.
Chimera as an OVA. Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon is just more violent, but like not in a gruesome way.
Pupa's edgy.
Oh my god, for a whole different reason.
I mean, Pupa. That whole anime is unnecessary.
Good lord.
Pupa is an anime where a little girl gets like this disease or something that makes her have to eat human flesh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she spends the whole show chomping down on her brother.
Didn't you have like a sound effect of that?
Yeah, it's somewhere. I don't know.
Like a drop of her.
Yeah, of her eating him.
Oh
yeah, the Foley effects were pretty rough. But yeah. Blue Gender is edgy.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was on Adult Swim at some point.
It was.
Yeah.
Blue Gender is pretty edgy simply because there's a lot of human people getting eaten by monsters, which is
Mm-hmm.
not that unlike Attack on Titan, to be honest.
Yeah. True.
I mean, there's some similarities there actually. Maybe shallow ones, but
Right.
monsters suddenly appear out of nowhere and start eating people. Like that's basically what Attack on Titan is.
Yeah.
At least on the surface.
So I think what we're realizing here is that there are definitely a lot of shows that are just kind of garbage, trying too hard to be dark and edgy and gruesome and stuff. But then there are some like legitimate shows, and I'm it seems mostly from back in the day that are like, if you want to see some dark stuff, if you want to see some fucked up shit, go back to the 80s and
Dark
early
Side
90s
Blues.
and watch some of these shows.
Oh my god, dude.
Don't come at me with your Tokyo Ghoul nonsense.
No, I mean people that watch anime now. Not that I'm not trying to talk down to anybody, but people that watch anime now and they're like, "Oh my god, Tokyo Ghoul's so edgy." It's because they haven't seen things from the 80s.
Yeah, they just don't know any better.
I mean, go watch Devilman, the Apocalypse of Amon, and then come
my
tell me
God.
what edgy is.
Where he like bites a child in half. or something.
A little kid gets eaten like a corn on the cob in
Yeah.
the anime, and they show every bit of it, like fingers and limbs falling out of the monster's mouth and his eyeballs and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, try watching that as a parent, and then come talk to me about Tokyo Ghoul being edgy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even entertain that conversation. Yeah. But do you like it when they're like that? Do you enjoy the edgy stuff?
I feel like if it's entertaining or has a good story or it's fun, then yes. Like, like MD Geist is just silly and fun to watch. Or Berserk has like such a really interesting story. But if it's just violent for the sake of violence, generally it's not my thing.
Some people like to watch shows just because they're bloody and violent.
Yeah. See, that's not me.
Like I feel like that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a couple shows like that every season.
And that's fine. People are into
like
that.
Dead Man Wonderland, I think probably didn't need to be as violent as it was.
True.
Or Elfen Lied didn't need to be as violent as it was.
True. But again,
So-
for me, it was like Elfen Lied had an interesting story, and I was
it's
interested
good
in
enough.
the character, and so I was like, okay, I'll watch this.
Yeah, so there's a lot of violent stuff out there, and there's tons of stuff we haven't even touched on. Like Devilman Crybaby was very, very violent and at
Yeah.
times unnecessarily so.
True, that's a real throwback
I mean,
to like those old school kind of like super gory, over the top shows.
yeah, I mean that's a rare. Gene was kind of edgy. Watching them be
Kill them over and
killing
over.
or being
Although
killed
I
over
would
and over
say
again.
that kind of leaned a bit more towards the whole like edgelord type, trying too hard thing at times.
I'm not really good with all the edgelord, edge terms. These like words. These words just pop up out of nowhere. I don't really know what they're supposed to mean because I'm old.
That's true.
What the hell is the difference between bloody, edgy, and edgelord? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's up to interpretation.
I mean, these aren't actual words in the English language. We're just kind of inventing them.
Well, just like every other word in the English language, it was invented at some point.
I guess so.
Yeah, we're making new ones.
But we already have words for these things. We're just making new words.
It's like bootylicious. It's now in Webster's dictionary.
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is. Absolutely.
I hate the world. So yeah. So this.
And
is,
on that note,
yeah. So we have a lot of impressions to do, so we should probably move on.
yes.
But if you guys hopefully maybe picked up some edgy, violent things if you wanted to watch some stuff like that, and of course this was basically a duct tape topic, so I hope that we did well.
I think it was fun.
You think we did well?
Yeah. If you've seen any of these shows, or if you have any other ones that you think that we should check out, hit us up on the Discord.
I'll tell you one thing: your top 10 list stole
Yes.
the show.
Okay. The terrible top 10 list.
We should have a top 10 list of
top 10 lists?
of worst top 10 lists.
We need a Cosmo's top 10 list drop is what we need.
You need a top 10
And
list
so
segment.
every time I enter the terrible top 10.
You need a top 10 list segment.
Yeah. Or a top 10 lists.
That's too much.
We go back and listen to all the top 10 lists I've said on the
10 times 10 is 100. That's too
That's
many.
true. You're right. Good call.
But we could have a Cosro's terrible tens or something, or some segment where you do a top 10 list.
Sure. That sounds fun.
Yeah. All right. So why don't you get us out of here?
Yeah, so on that note, we're going to take another news break. When we return, we'll begin our impressions, so stick around for that. Before we go on break, though, we have another in-show weekly trivia question, and we'll answer it after the break. It says, in the anime
Anglo-Mois.
Many warriors are exiled to an island to help fight the Mongols. What is the name of that island that actually existed in history?
It does exist.
Yes. We will tell you. You will learn something after the break. Stick around.
Hey everybody, Mitsuki's back, and yet again, it's time for more of your anime news. Leading us off this time, there have been more arrests relating to Love Live Sunshine manhole covers. There has been a third arrest made with the suspicion of damaging these manhole covers in Numazu City. The most recent arrest is related to 3 manhole covers that were spray painted in June. So the earlier arrests that we mentioned on a prior episode were due to just merely scratches on manhole covers, but this guy actually collaborated with other people to organize having the manhole covers spray painted. So more arrests are happening in the apparent hatred of this idol anime. Next up, Toei Animation is doing something pretty neat. They are opening an interactive anime museum with displays in Tokyo. The Toei Animation Museum is being opened on the grounds of its Oizumi studio in Tokyo on July 28th, so that's pretty much already happened. The new studio is going to be an update of the Toei Animation Art Gallery, which closed in September 2014. They're going to be displaying production materials from Toei Animation's works, and visitors can come in and do interactive activities with their favorite anime properties. The museum's event space is currently having Precure Asoberu Hiroba, which will allow people to enjoy photo spots, giant puzzles, and a toy experience corner. Other features of the museum also include a courtyard with blackboards and character goods shops, and the museum is free. So if you're in Tokyo and you want to check out this Toei Animation sort of exhibit, you can do it for free. Next up, the I Want to Eat Your Pancreas novel's author shares mixed feelings on the anime film. We had mentioned this film already because the title is so bizarre. However, the author, Yoru Sumino, recently saw an advanced screening of the film, and he posted his, quote, mixed reviews on Twitter. He said, and I quote, "I saw the Pancreas anime. There are good parts, but honestly, there are also unsatisfying parts. Still, Sakura and Kyoko are extremely cute, and I saw how the protagonist pushes forward. From my heart, I'm glad I wrote the story. Also, Sumika's song is just too good. I leave the rest to those who watch it." So mixed reviews from the creator himself, but I'm sure it'll be a very beautiful film when it does release. Next up, and lastly, the oldest living person in Japan has passed away. Shio Miyako has died at the age of 117, which is absolutely unbelievable. So Miyako, a resident of Yokohama, died. She was born on May 2nd of 1901, and she became the country's oldest person after Nabi Tajima of Kikai Island in Kagoshima Prefecture died also at 117 in April. So wow, Japanese people tend to live a really long time, especially Japanese women. We already knew this, but now we're seeing it firsthand. This is Mitsuki, and this was your anime news break. Now, time to get back to the podcast.
Hey guys, please go to okay, one more time. Visit jlist.net for oh man, that's not right. I gotta get this hosting down. If only Mitsuki Senpai was here to help.
You called, my dear Kohai.
Senpai, wait, you can teleport?
But of course. Now, do you wish to learn the ways of directing people to countless anime goods?
Yeah, teach me the ways of letting everyone know about the amazing snack selection JList.com has to offer.
Then listen closely, my Kohai. Go to jlist.com right now for all of your anime shopping needs and all of your anime snack shopping needs.
Senpai, sugoi.
Hi there, my name is Spike Spencer. I'm the voice of Shinji Ikari and many other crazy bastards. And I am an anime addict.
The Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast presents How Does Chiaki Play the Good Cop?
I don't care how important what you are saying is in real life, in anime, in any media. I don't care how touching the music is or how the character relations are being developed. If you have a shot while this discussion or this meaning is being delivered or is taking place, and in the foreground of this shot, I have a bikini girl's ass in my face, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It stops mattering. So if you want to have your message, have your message. If you want to have your bikinis, have your bikinis. But bikinis trump.
She's still working on it.
She really can't. She's not gonna. You can't play good cop at all.
Back to the show.
Welcome back to episode 432 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. We had a trivia question.
'Tis true.
Not a very hard one either. If you've seen this anime, you'll get it.
It's a currently airing anime.
It is. So, and if you're a Japanese history person, you'll know this also. Go ahead. What is the question and answer?
So in the anime Angle Moist, which might be the worst name of an anime ever.
It is bad.
We definitely need a better name than that.
Well, this is Japanese. The Japanese name is Genko Kasenki, which is a little better.
That's better. All right, so in the anime Angle Moist, many warriors, Japanese warriors, samurais even, were exiled to an island to help fight the Mongols. What is the name of that island? Now, if you're a big gamer, then you would also know the answer to this question.
Ghosts of
Tsushima.
There you go. That game's gonna be great.
Yeah, and this anime is basically about the same thing that the game is about, which is the Mongol invasion. For those that don't know, in Japanese history, the Japanese government exiled a bunch of samurais to this island so that when the Mongols came over to fight, they would be there to basically...
I think that's how it went down.
Something
like that.
Yeah.
At least that's kind of how it's going down in the anime itself.
So there you go.
Yeah. Now we have some impressions to do, but before we get to that, we have a 5-star review from iTunes, of course. So let's get right to that.
It's time for iTunes review.
Special shout out to everybody who has left us a 5-star review on iTunes.
Which is a shitload of people.
It's a ton of people. We are currently the highest or the most reviewed anime podcast in the world.
By I think around 100 reviews.
Yeah.
And we're the only one of the only ones that has 5 out of 5 stars. So I love you guys. You guys are really the best.
So thank you so much.
That has nothing to do with us. That's just you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, all we do is sit
it also
here.
probably has to do with us constantly telling you to do that. But hey, whatever.
I mean, we just prattle on and on about nonsense. You guys are the ones making it all happen. So.
Yeah. So this 5-star review is from the Diva Ray.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. The Diva Ray. It says, best anime podcast ever.
Thank you.
I've only been listening to you guys for about 5 months, and I'm mad I just discovered y'all. You make my work days and my commute so much better. Keep up the good work.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
and you know what? Don't be mad. You've got hundreds of episodes that you can go back and listen to now. It's awesome. You've not countless, but a very large number of hours of entertainment.
If you count the exclusive content with the non-exclusive content, we have almost 1,000 podcasts.
Good Lord.
1,000.
We're monsters. We need to be stopped.
Yeah. Someone should come in here and put a stop to this.
Someone, please.
Someone take all the microphones. Take his microphone away.
No, I must talk to people on the internet.
I am not good at moving this thing down the board. You might have to do this from now on. I suck at this. All right. So we're doing impressions now, right?
Yes, sir. Today, we're going to be doing impressions.
Impression time, believe it.
Oh my God, that never gets old.
Never.
Oh Lord, that's
why it's a drop.
The shonen voice.
So
yeah, we've got a few impressions now.
So what are you gonna be doing today, guys?
Today we're gonna be doing impressions.
Oh my God, impression time! Believe it.
Oh, that Mitz, I'm gonna need you to work on your shonen voice.
Well, I'll do my best.
Okay.
So what are you doing an impression on?
That's horrific.
Well, I'm sorry.
That would be painful to listen to. That's almost
What are you doing
as bad
as today, buddy?
There you go. I was gonna say that's almost as bad as the English dub of Naruto.
Why don't you impress these nuts?
Yeah, baby, yeah. I'm gonna impress these nuts on your face.
I'm gonna impress these butt cheeks up against this window.
I'm gonna leave a mushroom tip impression on your face.
This is ridiculous. Oh my God. What the hell?
All right, so it's just Mitz and I today, so we're gonna power through some of our impressions. I've got 3. I think you've got 2 that we're gonna go through.
I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to figure out what to do with mine.
All right, well,
as we speak.
Okay, well, I feel like I already know what I'm gonna do with mine. I know exactly what I'm doing with mine. So the first one that I want to talk about here is a little show called, I think the Japanese is Yuragiso no Yuna-san, which the English translation is Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs. So here's what I'm going to go ahead and read to you.
Here we go.
I'm going to read to you the synopsis off of...
That's a big synopsis. You're not going to read that whole thing, are you?
Probably not.
We'll be here for like 10 minutes.
All right, well, I'll just...
It probably has 400 grammatical errors in it.
You're probably right. I'll just sum it up then for you. So Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs is a show about a high school age boy. I think he's just starting high school. And he has the ability to see and interact with ghosts and other demonic creatures. And he also has the ability to exorcise ghosts out of people that are being haunted or objects that are being haunted by punching them. So he punches it and the ghost comes out or whatever. And he's also very poor. I think he's broke. And so he ends up moving to this hot spring where apparently it costs like $10 a month to live there or something ridiculous. And when he goes there, the hot spring is haunted. And actually in the first episode when he's like, "Oh, I'm trying to find this hot spring."
Haunted?
Yes. People were like, "You don't want to go there. It's haunted." He's like, "That's exactly why I
By
want to go there."
Yude.
What?
Yude.
Oh.
Ghost.
Yes. Yes. That is correct. So he goes to this hot spring and he finds a ghost. And it is a girl.
With giant tits?
With giant tits.
Ghost titties?
Welcome to Ghost Boobs, the anime.
If she's a ghost, she has no weight. If she has no weight,
you're right.
The boobs will never become saggy.
That's a great point.
They will forever be nice and perky. Are they perky?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Of course they are.
You know,
is she like 15?
You know, I would assume she's an
This
adult.
Well, I wouldn't assume anything. This is anime, okay?
Yeah. You know, I don't... Oh, you know what? She's 16.
There you go.
According to the Yuragi Manor's ghost is a 16-year-old girl named Yuna.
We always cringe at that, but
yeah,
they just don't. I just don't think Japanese people see it.
I don't
that
think
way.
they care. Yeah, it's a different culture. But anyways,
okay.
So, you know, the place is haunted by this ghost, but she's like a super friendly, awkward ghost, and she's got tig old bitties, and this. And there's also some other girls that live there that, like, you find out in the second episode. One of them is, like, an ogre, and the other one's, like, they're all various types of, like, mythical creatures and whatnot. And they all have, like, magical powers and stuff. And this show reminds me of something that I would have watched back when I was 12 or 13 years old, when the internet wasn't really a big thing, and I desperately needed whatever I could find to get my rocks off. As a pubescent boy.
Jesus.
When my hormones were a-raging. And I just needed any...
They're still a-raging,
I was flipping through Sears catalogs, looking at girls in underwear. Come on, bro. Don't act like you didn't do this when you were a boy.
You'd be better off going to a live soccer game and going home with lots of mental images.
A live soccer game?
Yeah, we did that
yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah, true. But anyway, so... Like, this reminds me of back when I was a young boy and didn't have the internet and didn't have porn.
What's the girl's name?
Yuna.
With 2 U's?
1. Well, I think it's supposed to be 2. But anyways.
I'm looking up her. I just wanted to look up her picture.
This show is basically just watch this boy around a bunch of big titty girls and tripping and falling and landing on their boobs and their clothes.
She's a
fly
ghost.
off.
She's a ghost, though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you fall right through her?
Dude, don't try.
Is she materialized?
Don't try to rationalize this.
Well,
she can materialize and touch things if she needs to.
Okay. Well, she's gonna need to when
Yeah.
When
so
when they
I mean,
get down to
basically,
business. She's cute though.
Yeah. No. The girls are very attractive in the show. But it's literally just hey, look at all these boobs and haha, he tripped and fell and landed on her boobs and look, she's naked. Whoa, how wacky.
Did she actually get naked?
Oh, 100% all the time.
Like
but
legit naked?
They do the glowy light thing over her, which
Got it.
leads me to believe that the Blu-ray release of this is going to probably have some uncensored bits.
Probably will.
So if you're a pervert, there you go.
Well, that's how they
Looking
make
out
their
for
money. They dangle the carrot for you and then slap a $500 price tag on that carrot and say, "Here's the Blu-ray box set."
Yeah. So
but you'll get to see ghost titties.
This is the most like, I mean, we've seen this a million times, and it's so cliche. It's so incredibly cliche, and God, it offends me. It really does. But you know what? Hey, if you're a young boy and your parents have the internet locked down, but you've got a Crunchyroll subscription or wherever the hell this is playing, then have at it, Haas.
Do you know what offends me?
What?
Is how dumb some characters' names are. Her name's Yuna Hana.
Yeah.
Like, why? They have Japanese people love word puns.
Mm-hmm.
They love them. They're not unlike you.
Right. I also love word puns.
And it's
There's
like
all kinds of puns.
And it's like they love giving someone their first name is also the first part of their last name. They freaking love that shit.
Yeah. So this is Ghost Boobs the anime. There's a 0% chance that I will ever watch this. However, you know what it is now, so if it's something you're interested, have at it. Otherwise, I am failing it.
I'm too over this shit. Opie, I think I'm getting too old for this stuff.
I'm too old for this shit.
I'm too old for this shit. I'm too old for this shit. Will you follow me again? I'm getting too old for this shit.
You nailed that timing. Very
I know.
well. All right, I'm going to do Backstreet Girls.
Ooh, fantastic.
So
is this about a girl band?
Sort of.
Oh.
Backstreet Girls is an anime about 3 Yakuza who lose a bunch of money for their boss.
Okay.
And in order to repay their boss the money that they lost, they don't do any kind of conventional thing whatsoever. Rather, he makes them all go get extreme. I think he sends them to Korea or something. Is it Korea or Thailand? Thailand. Sends them to Thailand to get sex reassignment surgery to become female idols. They come back looking exactly like idol girls. Their face, their hair, their breasts, their skin, everything. Their voices. They are idols when they come back. They go from being like 6 foot tall, cigarette smoking, drinking Yakuza men to
they shrunk them?
Gorgeous idol girls. Yeah. Look, I'll show you. Backstreet Girls. Here we go. So they go from being, this is what they look like at first. Like these guys. See them?
Okay.
Like Yakuza guys. And here's what they look like afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah. Like exactly what I said. Yakuza dudes to girls. Like cute girls. And this anime, it's not terrible. Let me start with that.
Okay.
The bad thing about the anime is that it is literally not animated. In fact, I was thinking we could do a drinking game to this.
Okay.
Where you drink every time something other than lip flaps is animated. And we could get through it.
Jeez.
That's how little animation there is. In fact, I've heard people say that it is cut for cut shots from the manga. It's almost like they literally colorized the manga and did lip flaps and maybe like sparkles and shit like that at times and just gave you the shot for shot panels of the manga in an anime form.
Now here's a question.
Yes.
Is it purposely not animated? Like there have been shows where it's like kind of a joke that it's like, it's not animated. Isn't that funny?
Well.
Or is it like, no, it's supposed to be, they're just super lazy?
I can't answer that because I don't know what they were thinking when they made it, but I will tell you that I don't think anything is going to be fun or funny or well served doing 12 episodes of something not being animated.
Now I'm going to need you to click on that picture for research purposes.
Yeah, go ahead.
For science.
There you go. Oh, they're hot.
Okay, all right.
And they're and they're
fair enough.
And they're probably like they're in their 20s for sure.
Okay.
So fair game.
I'll allow it.
For once, it's fair game.
Even though they're kind of dudes.
Oh, they're dudes. And the funny thing is, so this anime is it's quite funny. It's not animated at all, but here's some of the things that happen in this anime. There is a large dosage of these grown Yakuza men trapped in these female bodies, and they're trying to cope with the fact that they're struggling with trying to maintain their masculinity while being idols.
Yes.
So it's almost like this anime
I saw a
is
picture
going to be
there where they're like drinking beer and their like legs are like spread as they're sitting down like dudes.
There's a shot. I mean, this anime is going to offend a lot of people because this anime is how, and it's going to sound like a transgender conversation, which I normally would not have, but just know that everything I'm saying is just the way that it's portrayed in the anime because I don't want to get any emails. So like this anime is how it would be for a person if they were getting sexual reassignment surgery but didn't want to have it done.
Ugh.
So you're like, rather than being like, oh, finally I'm in the body that I always thought I belonged in or whatever, it's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a dude and now I get turned on when I look at myself in the mirror.
I mean, I feel like you already do.
Well, I do look pretty good.
I mean, I didn't say that. I'm saying that. Yeah, never mind. You would make a hideous woman, by the way.
I would.
Yeah. So would I.
Bald as shit.
Yeah.
So like things happen in this anime where the three of them are struggling together with the same problem, and they form a train where one of them sits on the floor and the other one sits in front of that one, and then the next person sits in front of that girl. And they take turns groping each other's breasts because they're so turned on by each other's bodies that they just want to molest each other because they want to have sex with girls, but they can't do it because they are now girls. And so they are literally molesting each other. And then they'll like rotate so the person in front can have a turn grabbing boobs, and I mean, I've only seen 3 episodes of this, but I wouldn't be shocked if down the road they just were full on having sex with each other. There's scenes where like there's a funny scene in the 3rd episode where their manager is saying like, oh, I have researched every possible aspect of a young girl's problems and their lives, and there's nothing that I can't advise a young woman on. So he wants to get to know them. So he brings the girls one at a time into his office. This anime is really funny.
Is he gonna try to harass them or something?
No, not at all. He brings them into the office and he goes, Tell me about yourself. I want to know more about you. Tell me what some of your problems are. I want to help you with any of the problems I can help with. I'm here for you. And she's like, well, I have hemorrhoids. And this is verbatim, almost verbatim, paraphrasing.
Oh my God.
I have hemorrhoids, and I have constipation. So when I drink a lot of alcohol, it softens up my poop so I can poop better.
Okay.
But the alcohol really flares up my hemorrhoids.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So he's like, I have no data for this. I don't know what to do.
Hemorrhoids and constipation are a bad mix.
And then he finds the other girl on the roof, and he's like talking to her about the same thing. And she's drinking like a gallon of liquor out of a bottle. And he's like, he asks her the same questions, and he's drunk. He or whatever, she or he.
Is that the image of her drinking the gallon of liquor?
They're always drinking in this show. And he basically goes, give me my dick back. Because that's how you can help me. He's like, what? Wait, I have no data for this.
So wait, does he know that they used to be Yakuza men?
No.
Okay. So he's just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. And holy shit. I mean, it is really funny. There's scenes where they're doing like handshaking events where like their fans come and just shake their hands and like what idols would do. And one of the guys is like this fat, sweaty otaku guy who's like profusely sweating and is he's in love with her and I'll do anything to protect you and all this. And he has his turn shaking their hands and he's standing off to the side just watching. And then one of the guys that comes up and shakes their hands is the guy that screwed up some mission that ended up having them lose the money. Oh. So he's the guy that was responsible for them being like this in the first place.
Jeez.
And so they're shaking his hand, but really they're in our monologues. So they all want to just tear this guy apart.
Right.
And they shake his hand really hard and they're squeezing in, and he says, like, "Oh my God, what a strong grip you have. I love that kind of grip on a woman and all that." And he gets a little too uppity with the girls, and the otaku guy tackles him and like takes him out and is on the news crying about how he's protecting their honor. It's a really funny show. Like there's a lot of funny things in it to be seen, but there's an awful lot of struggling to sort of maintain the fact that you're a man in a woman's body. Mm-hmm. So like there are times when like they'll slip into full on idol and they'll be like, because they also went through some brainwashing too.
Okay.
And, you know, they'll say things that only an idol would say. And then they'll look at each other like, what the hell are you saying? Like, where did that come from? Like, get it together, man. You're a Yakuza.
Yeah.
You know? And then there's scenes where the one girl has to go and introduce herself to her father and tell her father what happened. And it takes her like 4 hours to prove that it's actually him. And because the father won't believe it. And then he comes back. They go back the next day to see the father again, and the father's all dressed up in like a skirt with pantyhose and shit, and he's all dressed up like a woman. And then they're having this joke about how he and his father now became she and her daughter.
Okay.
So like, I don't know, there's a lot of this like stuff going on.
Yeah.
Which I think will offend a shitload of people. I think this anime is very going to be... I feel like you can pretty much offend anybody with anything nowadays, and this anime doesn't care about that. It's just a funny... It's intended to be funny. People probably won't find it funny at times. I found it funny. I think the comedy is dead on a lot of the time. And I found myself like literally out laugh out loud laughing because there are some really spot on, sharp, witty moments in the show, but it's not animated at all. Literally. So I was looking at our scores, and this is a bubble show. It's a bubble show, and I am want to yield to other people when they have things they want to pass. So while I think that Backstreet Girls is a funny show that a lot of people could probably enjoy quite a lot, I'm going to have to fail it because I think that there are other shows that are sort of in the same level of quality that are actually animated.
Okay.
But the story of Backstreet Girls is very funny and witty. And if you're a person that likes the description I just gave, then you will probably enjoy the show. The other thing I would say is that there aren't too many shows like this one. Do you know of another show like this?
Not exactly, but there's the show about the girls that became the magical boys, Maho Shoujo Ore.
Yeah, but do they die? Did you watch that?
I did the impressions on it, so I watched the first 3.
Are they diving into like the psychological turmoil of maintaining your manhood while you're a woman? Like stuff like that gets pretty heavy.
No, it's just a straight up comedy, like a silly slapstick kind of thing.
So this is definitely a comedy, but there's a lot of like dark tones. So it's not a bad show. I have it as a 3 out of 5 right now. I'm on the document. I really don't think it's bad, but I'm gonna fail it because I could pass it, but I'm gonna fail it just so other people can have the things that they want.
Okay.
That is one big pile of shit.
All right, next up is how to not summon a demon lord.
I watched episode 1 of this, blazed to hell.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it.
What? Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Mitz.
I was blazed, and I enjoyed it quite a lot.
Because now that I am going through these impressions, I do want to give a disclaimer. I did not pick any of these shows. I was away from the podcast at the time.
You picked them by not picking them.
I don't know if that's true.
I did what I had to do.
So Mitsugi picked all of my shows for me. So I don't want this to be held against me in any way. The opinions reflected within these picks do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Kazuo.
So you got 5 out of your top 6 choices.
These were not my choices. I got 5 out of your top 6
You got
choices.
some good shows, my friend.
All right.
You got Fooly Cooly and Attack on Titan.
It's true.
Those 2 high-profile shows.
So, how to not summon a demon.
Way to bury the lead, by the way.
What?
Like, you're giving a disclaimer that I didn't really pick this.
I'm just saying I didn't pick any of these shows. So, I don't want people thinking like, well, why did Kazuo pick this if he doesn't like it?
All right, okay.
Like I did with the previous
But that
show.
happens all the time for all of us.
True. So, how to not summon a demon lord. Also known as Isekai Mao to Shokan Shoujo no Dore Majutsu. And if you didn't notice, the first word there is Isekai, which, for those unfamiliar, Isekai is a term in anime that involves being transported to another world. Often a video game world. And so
God, the 2 girls in this are so hot.
In this anime, there is a gentleman by the name of Sakamoto Takuma who plays this MMORPG called Cross Reverie.
Jesus.
And he's very good and very powerful in the game. And first episode, he gets sucked into a video game world. You know what I find interesting about a lot of these isekai shows is that back in the day, like when these kind of first started being a thing, like there would be like an interesting method in which they are teleported into this world, right? It would be like, oh, there's this organization that's trying to lock everybody in the world, so they trap them in there, and they're blah blah blah. Or this character, what there would always be some kind of interesting way in which they were teleported into
like
the world.
Kagome fell down a well.
Yeah, something like that. It was like her family was like involved in like all this like spiritual stuff. Like there's always a story behind how they got teleported there. But nowadays it's just like, no, he just woke up and he's there. They're like, it doesn't matter.
That's not what happened in this one.
I think he just like
the 2 girls summoned him.
True.
And he ended up being so powerful that he ended up basically enslaving them.
Yeah, basically.
They bit off more than they could chew, basically.
Yeah. So he gets teleported into this world into the form of his character in the game, and he is teleported there by these 2 girls. One is a very busty elf, and the other is a cat girl, I think, right? Cat girl, who is very not busty.
I love them both. They're both ridiculously hot.
So,
goddamn, I am so so in on these 2 chicks.
And, Mitz.
I mean, the show aside, the 2 girls, they're hot. They're hot, dude. A busty blonde elf chick.
If you ever have the opportunity to hang out with Mitz, you'll notice that all he ever talks about is girls.
Well,
all day.
I'm sorry. I am a man.
Just all day.
I'm a single man.
As am I. But I also have control over my urges.
Well, I don't.
Yes. But anyway, so the show, if you recall the previous show that I did impressions on, I jokingly called Ghost X Boobs. This is Elf X Boobs. It's literally almost the exact same thing as far as like a lot of the jokes they do where like the main character trips and falls and lands on the boobs, or the girl's clothes fall off. It's the same exact thing as the Ghost show that we just finished talking about, except it's in a video game world, and the main character is insanely overpowered and is like level 180 or some crap, and everybody else is like level 30. So he's just like demolishing everyone. And that's pretty much the entire first 3 episodes is him having like, yeah. Captain Avatar in the chat says it best. Girls, girls, girls. That's all this show's about. Is come look at hot girls. Do you need to fire off some knuckle children? Do you need to do the 5-finger knuckle shuffle?
You could have.
Do you need?
You could, because in the first episode of this show, I was very inebriated.
Mm-hmm.
Can you use that term with
inebriated? Yeah.
I was inebriated. And I don't know, I really enjoyed watching him take that cat girl upstairs and put her on the bed and was like sucking on her ears and stuff.
Yeah.
I would totally do that.
Yeah. I mean,
I would have gone further than that.
But that does not make a good show at all.
No, it doesn't. I was just saying I enjoyed watching.
Just watch porn. What are you doing? Why are you wasting your time? Like
because hentai, which is the only place you're going to find content like this, because they don't make real live action shows about elf girls and cat girls.
Oh, yes, they do.
No, they don't. And if they do, they're terrible.
I mean, yeah,
I've seen Stroke Aim On. Okay.
True.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Those hentai today aren't animated at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like barely not at all.
Yeah.
This show is.
So there you go. If you are interested,
if you want to watch cat girls get their ears sucked on,
if you want to see,
this is good for you.
You know what? To be fair, very hot animated characters.
They are hot.
But obviously they're never gonna actually plow them because it's a.
Here we go. Here's the exact shot where he's like going in on her ear.
Good job, Mitsuki.
I love it.
You found a picture of the ear.
I'm so proud of myself,
buddy. You did it. So yeah, this show is literally if you just want to see some well animated boobs, and I guess stuff gets blown up sometimes because he's very powerful.
Didn't he blow up a dragon or something in the first episode?
Something that's cool. It's well animated, but that's it. Like, there's the story is not interesting. The characters aren't interesting. It's literally just if you would like to get blue balls.
Have you seen? I mean, I'm guessing you watched 3 episodes of it.
Yeah,
I've only watched 1 episode.
No, I've watched all 3. Yeah,
but I'll tell you what. After watching Senjushi and Backstreet Girls. Senjushi because it was just shit all around, everything about it. Backstreet Girls because it wasn't animated. I watched this one right after it, and this one was, to me, by far better than the other 2. Because it was animated and, was at least to me, it was fun.
Yeah. Well, hey,
it wasn't high quality stuff, but it was fun.
Good news for everyone. According to Morris in the chat, he says he does have sex with someone later on. So there you go. Watch all 12 episodes.
Well, the most
and you might be
annoying
able to see somebody having sex but like not showing anything because it's not a hentai.
Well, the most annoying thing about this show to me is that like this picture I'm looking at right here, where he's freaking out because of the two girls.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's annoying.
He's 150 levels ahead of them. He has enough confidence like in his sexuality to take the cat girl upstairs and basically start going to town on her. But he still freaks out in moments where like the two girls are with him at the same
hugging
time.
his arm.
Yeah, hugging his arm, and I'm like, they're not even naked. Why are you freaking out like a dipshit?
Yeah.
Just be a normal person. Like, I mean, it would be so much better if he was powerful and knew it and was confident about it, and then you could really have a hentai. But the fact that he's just gonna freak out all the time is just your typical anime bullshit.
This show is the epitome of might as well be a hentai. Like literally, it would be better if it was a hentai.
Look at that shot where she's all like,
yeah.
Oh my god, don't lick my ears. That needs to be a drop, maybe.
Well, there you go.
Just
guys.
fail it. I know you want to.
This show is passing. No, I'm kidding. It's failing.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
I want you to know I might have passed that.
Jeez, we would have had problems.
Have you watched this season?
Yes.
Most of the shows are not too good.
That is correct.
I mean, at least it's animated well.
Well then, Mitz.
Okay.
What do you have?
I have Anglo Moist. Anglo Moist is the story of, well, the Mongol invasion of Asia, pretty much. The Mongols came down and were having their way with China and conquering and just wiping out civilizations because they were such good fighters. They're actually the fighting group that the Dothraki from Game of Thrones were based off of. So think like dudes that are able to stand on horses while they're running and while they shoot bows and stuff. They're just way outmatching everybody else in combat ability. They're basically bred and raised to fight and kill from the day they're born. That's the Mongols basically, and that's why they were so easily able to conquer so many different places. Then here's Anglo Moist, a 12-episode show done by Studio Naz, which that's a weird studio. Studio Naz has not done much. They have done Hajimete no Gao, Hamatora, which was really horrible, Dramatical Murder, which has a terrible name. That's probably
Dramatical
terrible.
Murder.
Re-Hamatora, that was bad. Captain Tsubasa, the new one, which admittedly not bad, and that's about it. So it's a fledgling studio. And here is a story of some like Tokugawa type era samurai warriors that are exiled to an island called Tsukishima because they are going to help defend Japan against the invasion of the Mongols, and they know that the Mongols are going to enter Japan at this island called Tsukishima. And so in the first episode, and in the second episode, really in the third episode as well, there's the Mongols. The Mongols show up in episode 2, I think, and the battle starts to ensue. And so you're treated to some fairly compelling battle scenes where they actually discuss some tactics in the fights. So there's like a really old guy. Is he in the billing here? Is there even a billing? There's like nothing on this website. Maybe I need this thing. Nope. So there's an old man who's like the leader of the...
Is this based on a video game?
It might be. There's an old man who is the leader of this clan, and he's a really good fighter, and he's a warlord basically. And he and his son, they are leading the charge against the Mongols, and they do a fairly good job of fighting the Mongols as they land on the beach of Tsukishima. They got like 1 million ships and tons of people, and cannons and artillery and all this stuff, catapults, whatnot, and the battle is pretty good. It's pretty compelling, but at the end of the fight, the old man gets killed. He gets surrounded by like 7 or 8 different Mongols, and they all just impale him with their spears, and he dies, and the son dies as well. And the battle's not going too well because as they get killed, they are being routed by the Mongols, and they start to retreat. Well, what happens in the battle is...
they're being what by the Mongols?
Routed.
Oh, like they're being directed? And...
They're being pushed back.
Okay.
Okay. Are you familiar with the term rout? They use it in sports a lot.
Well, I am familiar. I just didn't understand the manner in which you were using it. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
So the Japanese are retreating, and the Mongols are pursuing them. But they pursue so far that they've overstretched their lines, and they're now no longer like... They're not in an advantageous position anymore. It would be a lot like if you chased an enemy in like a strategy game, like in StarCraft. If you were chasing the enemies way back into their base, where you're just surrounded.
Yeah. Or it's like in boxing, if you overextend on a punch and you're off balance and your opponent can counter you
it's like
easily.
That.
Yeah.
So, and the main characters of the show that are exiled recognize their strategic advantage, and so they weren't really participating in the battle wholeheartedly before, but now they say, well, now you guys think we're losing and we're going to lose and have to retreat, but really what's happening here is that we are now at a strategic position to counterattack because these guys have overextended, and so they pick their morale up and they counterattack against the Mongols and do a pretty good job of routing the Mongols to the point where the pursuing forces end up retreating back towards the beach. And so there's a little bit of like interesting strategy talk going on here. It's a little violent. The action is pretty good. And then
how is it animated? Like
it's not terrible. So there's like a the art style is a little unique. So you'll think of there are some shows where they've had a filter over the whole screen.
Oh.
You'll think of a show not as egregious as a show like Gankutsuo, but it's almost like just a texture layer.
Okay.
That doesn't move. Everything else moves, but
is
it
it
does
like
not.
a kind of like almost like a sepia tone to make it seem old? That kind of
a
thing?
little.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it look old, I wouldn't say, but
Well, not like old anime, but like it's like, oh, this is back in like you notice a lot of like old westerns that have like a brown tint to everything because it's just supposed to give you the feel of it being, pre our modern era.
I mean, I'm trying to find like an image here where I could show it, but it really only shows up when someone's moving.
Okay.
You can't really see it unless things are moving, so it's tough with an image.
Yeah, that's all right.
But in the third episode, they have a choice. The choice is we're going to either retreat back to the capital and regroup, or we're going to attack them in the night and attack their base while they're sleeping.
The samurais are going to do this.
Yes.
Okay.
And a lot of people want to go back to and regroup, but the exiled warriors see an advantage here, and he says something like, even a rat can kill a mouse if it's cornered and desperate.
Even a rat could kill a mouse?
Oh, sorry. Even a rat can kill a cat.
Cat. Okay.
If it's in a corner and desperate.
Gotcha.
And in order to win this battle, we have to strike them. We have to take advantage of everything we've got. And right now they're sleeping, and we're going to go down there. We're going to use a guide who knows the island very well. We're going to go down there with our 50 or their 65 men or whatever and kill them while they're sleeping. And that is sort of where episode 3 ends, with them going off to do that.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I haven't seen this show at all, but I am in.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I'm super first off, I'm just super interested in like history and stuff, so I really like shows that kind of will give a spin on a historical event.
I can't speak to its historical accuracy because
Sure.
I know little about the Battle of Tsukishima, but what I will say is that it is at least loosely based on this event.
Yes.
And if you're looking for a show that is a war show where it's not full of like little girls carrying clubs that are 300 times their size and dumb shit like that,
or little girls that are also battleships.
Yes, exactly. There's only one girl in the show, and she is like the princess of the clan that rules.
That one that you have on screen?
Yes.
Okay.
And she at times has a bow, and
So
she like here she is right here.
So she's a badass.
Somewhat. She's very beautiful. She's really the only female on the show. Every time she wants to participate in the battle because she's a good archer, but they don't want her to because she's a princess, but she tells them to basically to shut the F up and I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
And so the show is pretty good. It's definitely one of the better shows I've got. And so this is an easy pass. I think that Anglo Moise is compelling, especially if you like action. So definitely passing.
I don't think I've ever been this excited. You're excited? Feel these nipples.
Yep.
So according to Bertman in the chat, it says the director worked under Ikuhara. Is that correct? Do you know?
I don't know, but I don't see any of Ikuhara in this.
Yeah. But no, this show sounds awesome. It reminds me a lot of Ghost of Tsushima, which is a game that was talked about recently at E3. It's going to be coming out to the PlayStation, so it's cool that they're also tackling the same kind of story and history.
When is Ghost of Tsushima coming out? I hope it's not for like a year.
I think it's a while. I don't think they said. So
okay, because I got way too many games that are coming up that I want to play. So I'm pretty much booked on games for the next year. So I need to not have that come out for a while.
All right, so I think I got the last one here.
You do.
All right.
Take it away.
So last up is by far the best of the 3 shows that I am doing an impression on today. Which Mitsuki is shaking his head at. And that is Angels of Death.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Also known as Satsuriku no Tenshi. Now,
if you wanted to, you could call it Shitsuriku.
Shitsuriku.
Shitsuriku no Tenshi.
Yeah.
No ten shit.
No ten shit.
Shitsuriku no ten shit.
So
Not to spoil your impression.
No problem. Actually, I was just reading the chat. I was wrong about that. Apparently, the director thing was about Revue Starlight. They were talking about. So
okay. I was gonna say I don't see any Ikuhara in this.
Yeah. So there you go. The little correction there. So, Angels of Death. The synopsis is pretty short here, so I'll just read it real quick.
Oh God, how can this even have a synopsis?
13-year-old Rachel awakens
Jesus Christ.
to find herself trapped in the basement of an abandoned building. Without any memories or even a clue as to where she could be, she wanders the building, lost and dizzy. In her search, she comes across a man covered in bandages. He introduces himself as Zach, and he wields a grim reaper-like sickle. It's not a
sickle.
Bunch of other crap happens.
Did they say sickle?
They do.
Technicality,
It's a scythe.
It's a scythe. It's not a scythe. A sickle has a handle that's like a foot long that you cut like plants with.
Yeah, it's a scythe. So there's a young girl who wakes up in this building. She doesn't know where she is. There's some talk about like her parents being killed or something, but she's not sure. She can't really remember why she's there. She finds her way to an elevator to get out of the building. And as she does, she gets off on this floor, and she's almost like in this small town maybe. And then there's a dude covered in bandages with a scythe who is a psycho and is trying to kill her and starts chasing her down. He almost gets her. She escapes back into the elevator, goes up to a different floor of the building, gets off on that floor, and finds a guy who I think is like a doctor. And he's very nice to her for the moment until you realize that he is also a psychopath and wants to kill her and like steal her eyes or something.
Do you want to know who I want to kill?
Who?
Every single person who made this anime.
This, Ferdy the nerdy in chat says it best. This show is all about maximum edge. This is the definition.
This show's not even edge.
No.
It's shit.
No, Mitz. That's where you're wrong. This is the definition of edgy. Like, this is edgelord.
In what way is this edgy?
In the modern...
Yes, in the modern, I use words that don't really exist sense.
No, yeah, well, if a word is used, then it exists because it's used. So
you know what I mean? I get annoyed when people
make new words.
Decide that we're gonna call it doggo instead of dog. Just call it a dog. Call it a puppy.
How do you feel about the word cool?
I think cool has been generally accepted as a word for probably 30 years.
Okay, so you only hate the words until they've been used for a while.
Yes.
Then they're okay.
Correct.
Okay, fantastic. I'm just glad we cleared
But
that
how
up.
is this edgy?
It's
because he chases her around with a weapon.
It's edgy in the ironic that it's like trying so hard to be edgy sense. Like it's edgelord.
So edgelord is like you try too hard and you fail.
Yes.
Edgy is edgy, violent and gritty.
Yes, exactly. So this is more like
so it's edgelord.
This is that ironic like silly edge, like where you're like, oh my god, okay, we get it. This is not that.
I'm gonna push the whole staff of this off of an edge of a cliff.
So
I got an edge for you.
So the girl is being chased down by this other psychopath who is trying to kill her, and then she escapes again. Well, no. Then the dude with the scythe kills the other psychopath because he wants to.
Pumpkinhead Man?
No, that was episode 3. This is episode 2. Episode 2, he kills the doctor guy because he wants to kill the girl instead, and he's like, "Oh, you can't. I want to kill her. You can't kill her." And so he kills him. But when he does, he I guess breaks the rules of the building, and then it's like. There's something that comes over the intercom and is like, you have to kill the dude with the scythe. Everybody here try to kill the guy with the scythe now. And so the girl says, well, I can get you out of here if you because she loses her mind. And she's like, I'll get you out of here if you promise to kill me. This is how edge is. So edge. And so then they escape that floor to another floor, and that's where they meet the dude with the pumpkin head, who is also a kid who wants to kill her as well because he's a psychopath. And it's just a lot.
Dude, this anime is so bad.
It's you know what? It's a hell of a lot better than those other two shows.
No, it is not.
Watched.
Dude, I will literally argue this with you. This show is far worse than your
There's
than,
at
than
least
your
a
elf
story,
boob.
and you know what?
Dude, there's no story.
I'm curious with this show. I'm like, where did this girl come from? Why is she here? Who are these people? What's going on? I want to know.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something.
Yes.
I watched both of these shows that same night.
Okay, wait, both of what shows?
This Angel of Death and Boob Elf show.
Okay, the first episode of each.
This show that you're talking about is terrible in every single way.
It's not good.
Every way.
I'm not
there is nothing
I'm not saying
that is worth
the
watching.
show is good.
This is King's Game bad.
I'm just saying that it's at least interesting in a sense.
No, oh my goodness. My heart's gonna stop.
This is what happens when you give me boob elves and boob ghosts back to back.
But at least in Boob Elves, people could watch it. If they wanted to watch ecchi, they could watch him licking the cat girl's ears and go, "Man, that's hot. I wish I could lick a cat girl's ears." That's what I was thinking, right? But this show offers nothing. It offers nothing to no one. I get it. You're not the boob audience,
right?
But someone is. Someone is the boob audience.
Right.
So you're an ass man.
It's true.
Someone is the boob audience. This show has nothing.
I mean, it has intrigue.
No, it doesn't.
I am intrigued.
Oh God.
So
if I had hair, I would tear at it, like in Greek mythology. They tore at their hairs. They ripped at their clothing.
So that being said, the show is terrible. It's not good. It's not a good show at all. And I definitely, I am curious. Like if somebody would say, "Oh, this is what happened," then I'd be like, "Oh, cool, good to know." But I definitely do not want to watch the show to find out what's going on. I guess if you're into that edgelord type stuff, or you just want to see, here's my, okay, you know what? I'm going to go, quick thing.
Go for it, man. You want some background music?
Sure. We'll wait. We'll hold. That's my background.
This is all I have.
This is my rant music. Here's my issue with modern anime horror type stuff. Oh, there we go. That's better. Yeah. Here we go. Here's my problem. Is that when you have a psychopath, okay? What made like the classic horror movies so good was that you didn't see the bad guy. You didn't know where he was. He could be anywhere. He could be anyone. He could be behind the, you turn a corner, he could be right there, and he doesn't have any emotion. He's not excited to do what he does. He just does it. He's a machine that will hunt you down.
Like Michael Myers?
Like Michael Myers, like Jason, like the Terminator. Like that's what made it so scary. Like Alien from the first Alien movie. You never knew where it was. It could be anywhere, but it's a monster and it'll kill you. The problem with the horror, quote unquote horror movies or shows in anime nowadays is that it's like these villains are so over the top. They're all, ha 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 ha, I'm gonna kill you. It's like, no, you're not scary at all. You're just some goofy like dude running around like super cliche. Like I'm not scared of you at all. Like that's the problem with horror nowadays.
You're right.
It's lost the mystery. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. And that's my problem with
You're right.
show. And that is why Angels of Death will fail.
Shall not pass!
Like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, they don't even talk.
No.
Freddy Krueger does.
Yeah.
But
the problem, the scary thing about Freddy is that he's unstoppable.
Well, they do stop him.
Yeah.
Sort
but
of.
like it's like you can't escape. He will find you as soon as you fall asleep. He's gonna be right there.
Everybody who watched Friday the 13th knows you have to sleep.
That's what made those movies scary, and that's what like.
Well, Wes Craven's
that's
a
what
genius.
made like Berserk scary because it's like these demons are going to find you, and they're not not going to be stopped, and it'll never end, and like.
Well, I mean, Wes Craven and John Carpenter and these other like masters of horror storytelling, these anime creators aren't them.
Yeah,
they're not even close.
These anime characters running around with their eyes bulging out of their sockets and their tongue dangling,
like Mito Tsuji,
and they're screeching. It's like that's not scary, dude, at all. That's annoying.
Like that?
Yes, exactly like that. That's annoying.
Right, and yeah.
So that's my problem with modern anime.
Well, we knocked off a bunch of crap.
We did.
That's right.
So it makes me wonder what is going to pass.
Well, we've passed Cells at Work, Anglo Moise, and Hanebado so far.
Those all are good shows.
Yeah, we're doing a good job of picking the right shows.
Yes.
We have a lot more to do.
I am a little concerned that we're not going to have enough shows to pass.
We are, because if the scores on this document hold true, we have several 4s left.
Okay, that's
on
good.
this document.
That is good.
And a couple NAs, which leave us kind of blind, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch 2 of my shows, but I will definitely get that done this week.
We have 4 NAs. All right. Anyway, but that's okay. So, shall we move on?
Yes, let's.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime.
Your dance is horrific.
Anime.
Mailbag. How do you know that dance still?
Yeah. Because I created that dance. It came from deep within my soul.
Okay. Well, if you want to leave a mailbag, you can do it on our website, AAAPodcast.com. While you're there, you can join our Discord, which has over 600 people on it now.
It's true.
And it's...
and the Facebook group has a couple thousand people in there.
2,300 people in the Facebook group. And we have... also, you can join the Addicts and get our Hobby Addicts and our Hentai episodes. So you can hear us talk about real boobs and stuff.
Yeah.
I would... Man, the cat girl and elf girl. I really like them.
See, I'm not into the cat girl.
Well...
She's too, like a board.
I don't know. She's a cat girl. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, and I also don't like animal. Like I'm not.
I like the animal girls.
Yeah. Now the elf, on the other hand,
I was mostly in the Monster Musume crowd, but they went a little too far in Monster Musume. Like I don't need a spider girl, or whatever, or a bird girl. I don't want feathers. We all know that. First mailbag is from Icy Rose. You want to read it?
Sure.
Icy Rose always leaves the best mailbags.
Our good friend Icy Rose, who I'm not convinced actually exists.
You think he's a robot?
I think he's a robot because I don't think that New Zealand exists.
Oh.
Because the Earth is flat, as we all know.
Oh, you're a flat earther.
And, and there is no other side of the world. When we went to Japan, all we did is we flew up in the air and then went in a couple circles while they moved everything around, and then we landed, and then it was like the Truman Show.
Do you think Icy Rose is like Skynet?
It's very possible.
Okay.
I wouldn't doubt it. All right, so Icy Rose writes in and says, "Hello again, AAA hosts. How much does the ability to binge watch a series factor into your enjoyment of it?" That's a good question. There are a lot of shows that are of the shared opinion that either due to a heavy subject or density of a story, it's better to watch the episodes spread out over time to let the content digest with the viewer rather than marathon it. But because I know most of the hosts typically binge watch their shows for reviews, I wonder if that ends up working against the show's favor. So, is it a problem that we review a show every week and we have to watch it quickly as opposed to over several weeks, to kind of allow us to digest it?
So, I would rather binge watch, and here's why. I've been watching Major Second, and I love it so much that I actually got mad at it and rage quitted it.
What?
Yeah, because I got... So I was at one point I was like 12 episodes behind, right?
Okay.
So I watched all 12 episodes in the span of like 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had none left. And I was so into it that I would have done anything to have more of it.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So I had to rage quit it. I was so frustrated. I tried watching one episode like the next week, and I was like, I only got one episode? Like, it's killing me. And I got so frustrated. I was like, well, I can't watch this for 2 or 3 months because I would rather have a big pile of episodes to watch.
Okay.
I get frustrated when I love a show. Even if it's a show I'm just kind of lukewarm on, it's fine. Like, fine, I'll watch it one episode at a time. But when it's a show that I'm really into, like a Major or a Cross Game or something like that, I want to watch as much of it as I want to at that moment.
Yeah.
And the fact that I have to keep stopping really frustrates me. So I'm putting that one off for a while. So I'd rather binge watch.
So I think there are a couple of important variables here. One is the individual and their preferred style of watching shows.
I agree.
The other is the show itself and whether it lends itself to binging or if it lends itself to being observed over an extended period of time.
Of course.
So, for example, a show like Major or like, a lot of shonen shows, a lot of these shows that are fun but not too incredibly deep, you can binge those pretty easily because it's like, oh, I'm just watching a bunch of fun stuff and there's nothing really, I don't need to sit back and really think about this. But other shows like, I don't know, it's hard to, maybe like Utena or something like that, where there's a lot going on and you really have to kind of consider what you just watched. Those might not be the best kind of things to binge necessarily. So that's based on the show itself. Based on the individual would be something like, for me, I know personally, I like to binge things, but also I have a short attention span. So I will binge the crap out of something for a week on end, but then I will just never really look at it again. So I'll give you an example, or I won't look at it for a long time. I'll give you an example. A lot of podcasts that I listen to, like Critical Role was one I've been listening to a lot. I binged the crap out of that for like a couple weeks, and then I haven't listened to it really since. I still haven't caught up. But at some point, I'll get that urge, and then I'll just listen to 20 episodes in a row, So
you're never going to run out of episodes of that thing.
Yeah, so
a lot like ourselves.
Yeah, so it really depends on the individual and on the content of the show itself. But to answer your question, yes, it could potentially hurt the show, but not always.
Good?
Yeah.
All right. Kurt Dog writes, what up, crew? Semi two-part question here. In my quest to quench my seemingly infinite thirst for more of this podcast, I've been listening to older episodes. Something I've been enjoying is when you play different songs when coming back from the news breaks and announce the titles. Question 1, why did this stop? Copyright worries? Too much time to add in? Just curious. Yes, copyright worries.
Mm-hmm. Accurate.
Yeah. Question 2, what are some of the songs you get hype from anime? My go-to is number 1 by Hazel Fernandez from Bleach, when Ichigo saves Rukia from the execution, then wrecks those lieutenants. Anyway, sorry for my thick mailbag. Keep crushing it.
Is that like the one where you have like the the Bleach? Is this the one where like it's like an R&B type song where it's like whoa and then no, okay, I don't know. I haven't watched Bleach in a long time. I don't really listen to a lot of music, period, to be honest.
I mean, I don't really either.
Yeah. So I don't shows that get me hyped or songs get me hyped in anime.
I mean, I have one.
What do you got?
I love Eternal Loop by Saber Tiger, which is the song that they play towards the end of the second Sendo fight in Hajime no Ippo. It's like it's like 9 minutes long, and it's just like this epic rock ballad that they play the whole thing of in Hajime no Ippo, and it perfectly sets the tone.
Yeah.
It starts off with like the dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
It's so
and then the
hyped.
guitar goes wow, bam, blow, and it's like they play that like the dun 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 part in the beginning. It's kind of like this slow build up.
It's something like the Terminator song.
Yeah, and it's like
bum 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 bum.
It builds up slow, and you can
bum,
almost
bum,
see Ippo like getting back to his feet.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Like it fits Ippo perfectly. And I don't even care that the guy who sings it can't speak English worth a damn. Like his accent is just horrific, but I don't even care. I just love that song. It is awesome. It's great to work out to, run to. Anytime you hear that song, you're like the Terminator. You just can't quit.
Dude, that's good.
I love it.
Freaking I mean, there's some silly ones, but like Rock the Dragon from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. How are you not gonna hyped when that comes on? You know, you just want to go in your backyard and beat the crap out of your friends. Oh, is that just me? Never
That's
mind.
just you.
Okay, forget that.
Kick some trees.
I remember, you know what we used to do is when we were like kids and we would watch. So we would go in the backyard and spar and fight and stuff like that. And this is back when ephedrine was still not illegal. And
Good
so
Lord.
we would just beat the crap out of each other. And we were like 13, 14 at the time. Just beat each other up. And then we'd be all tired and stuff. And then we would pop like an ephedrine pill. And we would pretend it was a senzu bean. And then we'd go back at it. Those were good times. And
Okay.
probably very dangerous.
Why don't you go with the last mailbag?
All right. Last one comes from our
Or it's not the last one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We should probably go a little quicker. Holy shit.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault.
We're verbose.
We are.
Yeah. This one comes from our good friend in the Discord, McNeary. Yeah. McNeary says, all right, peeps. Okay, I was thinking of live action films that could transfer into anime. Example, Battle Royale.
Please. God, please, yes.
Then I was thinking about Western films. I decided that I found a gem, a dumb main character who isn't the main character, 2 hot babes and magic, and all kinds of fucked up stuff. That was Big Trouble in Little China.
Good Lord.
I know someone does not watch 80s films. Hey.
Whoa. He's pointing fingers.
I'll have you know I've seen at least one 80s film. Terminator.
That's a good one, though.
So my question is, what Western films do you think could transfer into anime?
The Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks?
Give me my damn hockey anime right now.
The Mighty Ducks?
Yeah, why not?
Why?
It's a fun movie. Everyone loves The Mighty Ducks.
I guess, yeah, but is hockey really a thing in Japan?
No, but neither is friggin' any of the other sports they're talking about. You think volleyball is big in Japan? They have like one of the shortest populations in the world. There's no way anybody in Japan can actually compete in volleyball.
That's a good point.
Unless it's against other Japanese people, because I can just see the Japanese men with like an average height of 5'7". I just looked this up the other night. Versus like the Netherlands where their average height is 6'2".
Jesus.
Good luck.
Yeah.
They're just going to like put their arms over your face. Like it'll be like a little kid trying to guard Shaquille O'Neal.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, they did that several times already, so, they could do hockey.
What good Western movies would make good? I feel like we've had this discussion before.
The Goonies.
The Goonies.
Little kids doing treasure hunting. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. Though that definitely sounds fun.
Yeah, it would be.
What else?
I'd like to see a golfing anime too.
A golfing anime?
Dude, it would work for sure. They could golfing can be compelling. Dude, there are so many great golf movies.
Sounds super boring.
Listen, dude, have you ever seen Tin Cup?
No.
Why am I even asking you?
Why even? Don't ask me. The answer
there
is,
are a lot of good golfing movies.
I have seen Happy Gilmore.
Hello.
There we go. That's the one golf movie. I've
Cute.
seen.
You could have girls in cute skirts,
That's the golf
swinging the golf club. You know, teeing off.
Yeah.
You know, like riding their golf carts around.
guess.
Dude, they could do a lot with it, for real.
I don't know.
Someone lands in the sand trap and they have to chip it out of the sand trap and like one putt it, and then the episode ends on a cliffhanger of him hitting it in the sand trap. Dude, they could do it. That's it. I want a golf anime. They love golf in Japan. They love it. They are obsessed with golf. Businessmen love golf. Give me my golf anime right now. I'm calling for it.
You know what I want to see an anime of?
What's that?
Blazing Saddles.
What? Where did that come from?
I want to see a Western comedy anime. I just want to see the Japanese creators' take on that.
Why not?
That would be so ridiculous.
Let's do it.
Because I feel like they whenever they have like any kind of like not even like Western as in country, but any kind of like Western world representation in anime, it's always like over the top and ridiculous. So I feel like it would just be even more. And because Blazing Saddles is already ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
So this would be just to the nth degree. That would be fun to watch.
All right, let me read the last one here.
All right.
Oh my God, it's big. Dice Man writes, "Hi, I just started listening to you guys. I go through 2 to 3 episodes a day right now, depending on the shift I work. Thanks for the consistency and for just generally being cool. I'm not sure whether this question necessarily qualifies as a topic or mailbag, so here goes. There is a myriad of anime or other animated shows that focus on around a game of some kind. Then has extensive marketing to make the fictional game into something feasible in real life, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Beyblade. These shows almost exclusively target younger audiences, so if you were to build a show around a fictional game that is geared towards adults and that could be marketed in the real world, what would it be? The more ridiculous, the better. I mean, come on, ancient gods trapped in playing cards or spinning tops."
Wait, so we're making up a game?
Yeah. So I said a game of dare with extreme consequences.
Ooh.
Like go to your corporation and take a shit on the hood of the CEO's car and see if you get caught.
Isn't that basically what King's Game is?
No, King's Game is like...
Yeah. It's like you're being dared to do something, and if you don't do it, then you die.
Yeah, but King's Game, it's always something dumb.
Yeah, I know. It's true. Like, go kiss this girl. Okay.
Go kiss this girl, or... What was it? Like, stay up all night or some shit. I don't know. It was dumb.
That's true.
I don't know. Adults don't play games. We're boring.
We don't play games.
We play video games. That's about it.
That's true.
And we have sex. That's a game. That's a game sometimes.
That is true. I guess so. It can be. Gosh, I am ill prepared for these questions.
Well, it's not an easy one.
Yeah. Like the first game that I was thinking about was like Magic the Gathering or something like that.
It's a lot like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
A lot more complicated.
That's true. Yeah. Or yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of any games that yeah. I don't know.
It's okay. You don't have to have one.
I don't play a lot of like board games or stuff.
Get that golf anime. Make it happen.
Like a Parcheesi anime. I don't.
I want my golf
Shoots
anime.
and ladders.
I want my golf anime.
Actually, that's the move. Shoots and ladders.
You're
in a building, right? And there's like monsters trying to kill you, and you have to go up the ladders or down the slides to escape them.
It's ridiculous.
It's a horror anime.
All right. Get us out of here.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. It was fun hanging out.
Long friggin'
Just
episode.
Mitz and I. It's weird how it's only 2 of us, and yet the show is super long.
Holy shit.
Again, of course, you can always find us online at our website, AAAPodcast.com. Go to AAAPodcast.com/join.
That's right, join.
To create an account where you will be able to get access to all of our additional episodes, hentai episodes, hobby addicts, after parties, just a whole buttload of podcast goodness.
Bored at work?
For your ear pleasure.
Bored at work?
Yes.
Bored in the grocery store? Tired of cutting grass? Tired of looking after your children? Well,
tired of looking after your
Well, we have a podcast series for you. It's called Hobby Addicts.
All right.
Hentai episodes.
That's right. Yeah. Are you sick of listening to all those people that don't know anything about anime? Well, listen to us, who doesn't know anything about anime.
We had a real life police officer come on the last Hentai episode talking about the things that really go on cops.
Yeah.
With cops.
That's
know?
right. Real deal. All right. Of course, you can
that's some sexy stuff.
You can also head over to iTunes to
right.
subscribe. Help us be number one. I feel like we're number one in our hearts.
Yeah. We deserve to be number one, I feel like.
Facebook.com/groups/AAAPodcast. Also, you can get over to our Discord. You can get there from the show notes. There's a link in there. There's a link on the website. There's a link on the Facebook group. Join the Discord. Hang out with hundreds of other anime addicts. We all just have a good time and talk about all kinds of nonsense.
Till late at night. Wow.
That's true.
Very late.
Very true.
Last night it was 4 a.m.
So yeah, thanks for everybody that joined us live, and we will see you next time.
I love you. Bye. After party!